When we do things like songs that are a little, what we call sexy. You can see from the title, it's more of a love album.
And we can't hear you, man. I think you're muted.
Yeah, my bad.
There you go.
My
What's
bad. My
happening?
Mute
bad.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
What's
welcome,
going
welcome
on?
everybody to another week of Manversations 2020. Great to have y'all in the building tonight. Definitely have a great show for you guys tonight. What up, fellas? What's good?
What's cracking, man? We good, man. We here. We ready for
Chilling,
we
chilling.
ready for
We,
whatever.
we
Yes.
live.
So we were backstage chopping it up. We had one of our, the thing about it is and you guys have to be very key whenever you see one of your fellow men say something off the wall or go off the rails. You know what I'm saying? You got to check that. And then when you check it, you know what I'm saying, behind the scenes, you had that talk like, yo, what's going on? You know, even with I had a situation with the Hungry Black Man, and the way people were questioning some of the things that were accessible to his restaurant when it comes to ordering food, and what was considered a side and what was considered I forgot, a compound plate, meaning that it's basic ingredients and basic necessities to make the basic plate look good, right? And it was a guy who, you know, asked the question and went viral, and it just took off. And I saw Starex, the Hungry Black Man, was, you know, defending his restaurant because his restaurant was catered a certain way. I understood both sides of the argument, but you know, when I saw Starex, who I really, really admire for everything he done for the community, um, there was a way that I felt like he should have went about the whole entire situation. And because he didn't go that way, it kind of spiraled in a real messed up way. And so what I did was I reached out to the brother and tried to do as much damage control as possible. And that's what you do. You know what I'm saying? You reach out to people when you see them spiraling, you help them out. You don't sit back and watch them just spiral out of control and then, you know, scratch your head and be like, yo, dude, you all right? No, you like, yo, look, this is what's going on. Let me help you with this. This is what I think you should do. And it's more valued coming from somebody who values you, and they understand that this is coming from a place of endurance, and not a place of judgment or condemning. So we had a similar situation with my boy A1, and Major called him out, rightfully so, should have called him out on it. And he didn't understand what was going on. And in the process of it, while I talked to him behind the whole scene, he realized what he said and what he done was kind of a big no-no, was a mistake. And sometimes we get like that. We get off the rails at one point, and it's up to your friends, your solid comrades, to help put you back on track. And that's what happened, and that's what we did. We squared it away. We're back now where everybody's on the same page and understands that the fight is way bigger, and having as much people and allied that is out here helping us and aligning with us is very key and vital, especially what's heading our direction. So we want to I point this out because we took that time out, and I know we were a little bit late on it. We took the time out because it was a much needed conversation and a much needed dialogue. So we want to address that with you guys to let you know that if you see a friend that's out here or somebody that you value out here just being a little bit reckless and spiraling out of control, it is your job to grab them by the horns or by the reins and make sure that they straighten up and understand what they're doing, so that way they don't go down in flames and you're just sitting back watching. This is why your friends, your true friends, is very vital. And you have to understand the difference between a friend and an associate. A lot of times you guys have associates in your friend's place and have friends in your associate's place. Life is a game of chess. And if you notice the chessboard, the weakest pieces are the furthest away from the king. The strongest pieces are the ones that surround the king. A lot of us have grown up around people and we automatically put them around us, which we are the king, right? So you align them as close as possible around you. But as you grow and you become this empowering person, you start to realize that I do have some flawed characters around me, and let me shift them from being the castle, the rooks, and everything like that, to now put them in the pawn position. And the friends that I just gained end up being some of the strongest people to surround me or protect me And now I put them in those positions. And now when you align yourself up correctly, you end up being the most dominant force on the board. So always keep that in mind. Always keep that type of mindset on you at all times, because it only is going to protect you, your family, and your loved ones around you. And that's what all I had to say. I'll turn it over to you guys if you want to add in on anything else on that before we get on into the program.
No, real talk, man. You know what I'm saying? And your perspective is appreciated and your intervention as well. You know what I'm saying? Because the last thing I want to do is write off somebody that's out here that's thorough, that's doing the work. You understand what I'm saying? So all well and good, you know, me and brother, we gonna have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? And we get it
Yes,
together.
sir.
So that's what it is, man. You know, we have a real enemy. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And it's good to know that that brother's not, you know, what I thought he was. You know what I'm saying? That's a
Mhm.
good thing to know. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because brother, I know people, you know, who've been in the struggle like this, who've done this, who made this their life's work. You know what I'm saying? I come from a family of activists. I know Black Panthers personally. You know what I'm saying? So like I have a totally different perspective when I look at, you know, certain behavioral patterns and they look off. You know what I'm saying? It really messes with me in another way because I've had so many conversations with people who've been there. You know what I'm saying? And they tell me,
Mhm.
hey, you know, watch out for these things or whatever. So, you know, it is great that we can have a dialect and we can all come back together and understand, hey, we're on the same side and start mashing towards handling some of the business we really got to handle out here, you know,
Mhm.
because at the end of the day, we all we got. So,
Mhm.
you know, it's good to know that, you know, hey, nah, brother's not that, brother's this, and this is thorough and solid, like for real, for real. So that's a blessing. That's a beautiful thing. It's a great day as far as I'm concerned. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to get on these goddamn trolls, is what I'm
Yeah.
ready to do, because that's a whole topic in and of itself that we need to really, really, really go after aggressively because that's doing a lot of damage to the community.
Oh
um,
yeah.
the type of behavior that I see online, you know,
Mhm.
from these reprobates, um, constantly just, you know, exhibiting the worst manifestations, the worst behavioral manifestations that Black society has to offer, constantly
Mhm.
representing the underbelly of Black society, you know, and doing it proudly, you know, doing it, you know, in a manner where they're just so proud of their ignorance. They wear it on their sleeve, you know, and then
Mhm.
they're rewarded for this. They're applauded for this. They're encouraged to continue doing this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
somebody has to check them. You know,
Yeah.
we have to be about the business of correcting the psyche of the people who not so much commit these actions, but the people more so that support them. Because if you cut
Mhm.
off their support system, then it's like Freddy Krueger. You know, he doesn't exist if you don't believe in him. You understand
Mhm.
what I'm saying? And you got
Yeah.
so many people, you know, supporting these people that, you know, we're at a place right now where, you know, we can't survive like this. You can't do anything with people like this. You can't build anything with, you know, Sukihana fans.
Mhm.
What you gonna build with them? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Their mentality is not even in the place where they're positioned to build anything. You
Yeah.
understand? And it's just too many of us on that low frequency, and we got to correct that.
Definitely. Exactly. So tonight's
Absolutely.
show, yes, tonight's show is internet trolls, and basically, the detrimental part of being a troll. There's different variations of trolls. When we talk about in your aspect of life, right? So you can be trolling somebody on the internet, and you control somebody as well in a relationship, right? There's different ways that you troll people that we're definitely going to get into and show you guys that trolling is actually bigger in all aspects of what our day-to-day basis. And So what we want to start off with doing is basically getting into the definition of trolls, right? So trolling is when someone posts or comments online to deliberately upset others. In short, trolling is when someone deliberately tries to upset others online. Trolling can lead to a pile-on where others join in the attack. Don't feed the trolls. Responding is likely to make things worse. All right. So, troll, right? The definition, I want to go with this definition first. No, I think it's this definition. All right. So, troll is basically to fish, or, when they say trolling your lure, or, throwing it out there, trolling your bait, is basically a terminology used during fishing. It's a way of fishing in some aspects of how you fish. Like, you control your lure when you do saltwater fishing for marlins and things like that. Um, but also, what people don't understand is that this type of trolling can also be dictated in your relationship, because as we can see, that a lot of people don't know there's a situation with Beyonce's mother, ex-boyfriend. I think I forgot what his name is. What you guys, y'all remember his name? I think something Lawrence or something like that. Was it
Lawson,
Lawrence?
is that the Lawson
Lawson.
guy?
Lawson. Yes,
I
Lawson.
think Richard Lawson.
Yes, Richard Lawson, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with the Richard Lawson guy, a lot of people didn't know, that Richard Lawson knew Tina Knowles, and what's the husband name again?
Matthew knows.
Matthew Knowles, right? So
Mm-hmm.
Matthew and Tina Knowles, Richard Lawson knew them way back when Beyonce was 1 years old.
Uh,
So during that time, he was friends with them,
mm.
right? And a lot of people didn't know that at one point, when Matthew Knowles was out here just being real reckless with his thing, you know what I'm saying? He
Bruh,
he didn't have no dick discipline. He was
bruh.
real reckless. There's no
Uh-huh.
sugarcoat behind it,
Right.
right? So he was out here just real reckless with Tina Knowles, and she tolerated it over the years, and he just kept having baby and baby on her with other women. And I think the last straw was, I think, 2000. They said 2000 when they broke up. I forgot when actually they broke up. But when they broke up, I think no, I think they broke up in 19. Gosh, what was it? 19 something. It was early on in the years that they broke up, and when they was together, Richard Lawson came in the picture and shot his shot at Tina,
Mm.
right? And they
Mm.
weren't fully divorced or anything. He was trying to shoot his shot while she was technically still married to Matthew Knowles.
Yeah.
And what I was getting, allegedly, this is what I was reading. And the thing about it was, she declined that. She declined the shot. Then he waited in the wings. He trolled. He trolled in the wings. He was out there streaming along in the water for
Uh,
23 years.
wow.
Right? He watched
Wow.
Solange get born. She became born. She was active, and then he ended up getting with this lady Tina Knowles 23 years after shooting his shot the first time, while she still was married to Matthew Knowles. So during that that time, when he finally got his shot, they end up getting together. So when they were talking about how the children, he wanted to receive the blessings from the children, and they didn't have any problem with him because they knew him from being a family friend for so long. So they were cool with it. But
Yeah.
then as he got into the relationship um, with Tina Knowles, they were going out, they were having a great time. Everything was good until they started going on interviews. And then he started seeing how this woman was very condescending
Very.
very she,
Oh,
she had so much masculine energy, and the way she just really pounded this man's feelings and manhood down in the ground like that, it was
it's
too much.
disgusting.
It was too much.
Mm-hmm.
And he had to pull away, and he ended up, calling it quits with her. And people didn't really know what the real reason was, but then they started digging and started to see that she became very vitriol towards this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And she was very condescending. I think in the interview, she was like, yeah, he wasn't really, what she said, he wasn't really my type or something. What offended him? I forgot
Because she
exactly.
said that he had flaws and he was far from perfect. That's what
Yeah,
she
Father
said.
perfect. Yeah.
Far from
right.
perfect. And then he said he gave her a look like, no, I mean, yes, you are far from
Like
perfect. I mean,
I
she
am.
was just like she was shitting on him, bro. But that's what you get when you get things through ill-gotten gains. That
Yeah.
was some slick shit he did to get her.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
She
now
ain't
he
no
labels
prize
himself.
anyway. You know what I'm saying? But that was some slick shit he
uh,
did to get her. That was foul.
Yeah.
the way you get them tends to be the way you lose them.
You
You know,
damn right.
Exactly.
there's a quote from George Bernard Shaw, this British playwright. He said, "There's two great tragedies in life. The first is not getting your heart's desire. The other is to actually
Mm.
get it." So
Yeah.
he was willing to go ahead and invest all that time and effort. You know, all these other women out there he could have been interested in, but he had his mind and heart set on her. Okay, cool, you got her. Now you
Now
find out
what?
real quick that what in your eyes was one man's treasure is another man's trash. In this
Mm.
case, your trash. So
Yeah.
All that glitters ain't gold, bruh. You dig?
Exactly.
he's
That
like
was that
that.
was foul, man. And that usually happens, man, when you get something in a foul ass way.
Yeah.
Be
And that's
ready.
that that's what I was alluding to. So that's why I wanted to show people that trolling, before we get into the internet trolls, that you can troll in relationships. So he was trolling. Like I say, the trolling technique is you throw your bait off in the water, the boat is coasting, and the bait is coasting along with the boat riding. So it's trolling along in the water. He was doing the same thing. He was playing under Matthew Knowles, and he was coasting along in the waters until he got his opportunity to bite the bait. And it was 23 years later. So he was in a friend zone for 23 years before he got a chance. And that just showed you
Sound like
that,
Steve Harvey.
yes. So, so it just shows you that the technique,
Tragic.
like Major was saying, the technique that you get or you use to get somebody will be the same technique that you end up losing that person. And it's sad that because he looked like he really, really wanted to work out. And he waited all those years to realize, like, damn, I waited all this time for this failed relationship. And it doesn't mean me or serve me no good because she was
Real talk.
condescending to me the whole time. So you actually wasted years, like Bobby said. You could have been out there, hollering at different other women,
Easy.
but you had it where you was trolling and wanted to wait in the cut till it was your time to go ahead and grab the bait. So uh we broke down that part of it. There's another uh, aspect of trolling when it comes to celebrities, right? So I wanted to show people this, right? So this is a picture of that was posted of Megan Good. I mean, no, not Megan Good. Megan Thee Stallion. Sorry,
Mm.
Megan Thee
Mm.
Stallion. Right? So,
Right.
a lot of times paparazzis will catch a lot of these celebrities off guard. They're not glammed up. You get to see the real them. I think Serena Williams got caught like this, and people was
Mm.
like, "Oh, geez, whoa!" Like, you know what I'm saying? You as a celebrity, you're going to get got, and people are going to see the real you because we have a lot of paparazzis out here. That
Right.
a lot of them do get money for producing these pictures to tabloids. So Megan got caught, and this is the photograph that a photographer had took of her, and it went viral. Right, so you can see
Ooh.
1K views, 75 shares, and what happened was this guy. right? No, let me go to this guy. Hold on, let me show you this guy. All right, so this guy,
Okay.
this
Well,
guy went, this guy went,
Picture's worth 1,000 words, man. But okay.
yeah. So this guy went and he commented and he
oh
said something
no,
about
brother,
Megan
no,
Good,
brother, no,
Oh.
no,
and
no, brother.
he was trolling, right?
Oh.
He was
Oh.
trolling, and
Oh.
he got ripped. He got ripped for trolling, and there's consequences for trolling. You got to make sure if you trolling, man, make sure you dot your I's and cross your T's, because we showed you last week what happened when Buddy was trolling with Kiki and how them women went in on Buddy and showed you his nails and all the little messed up behavior, and plus his bad habits, smoking beanies, and dude just was totally off trash with it. You know what I'm saying? And they pointed it out. That's what happens when you troll. So one woman in the comment ripped him. When I say she ripped him, right? So
Oh
one girl
no.
said, with or without it, oh, she still looks good. And then the guy says, does she? Laughing out loud. I'm just saying. The girl, I don't know who this girl is, but man, she ethered him. She said, she tagged him and said, this you? Balled up homework nose ass. You can't talk shit up
Oh
nobody
my
but B
God.
humble.
Boy.
When she said balled up nose,
Balled up homework nose ass nigga. Hold up, bro.
Didn't fuck Jay-Z.
Shit,
listen,
boy.
family. Listen,
Didn't fuck Jay-Z.
family.
Oh,
Family,
who
please.
dropped the
Wow.
who dropped the ether beat? Wait a minute.
Wow.
Yes.
Boom.
Listen,
Why do I hear hit him up play in the background?
Oh man. Ooh,
please,
that's
family,
gonna leave a mark.
Is that the No
please,
Vaseline album cover? Wait a minute, hold on.
Woo.
Oh Lord.
Damn.
family, please,
Oh,
family.
oh,
The internet is not a
Trolling,
safe place.
it's
yes,
Don't do
not.
it.
trolling is not for everybody.
Oh my
Please,
sweet baby Jesus. Really?
trolling is not for everybody. You're not
Woo.
built for this, because there's people out there that are very vicious
Yes.
when it
I'm
comes
one of
to,
them, I know. Yeah. It's
yes,
like
they will eat you alive. So tread lightly. You're gonna say something, be thorough with it.
wow.
I seen thorough brothers and sisters that said something about celebrity, and people just looked at them because they went through their pictures and was like, yeah, well, shit, they do talk what they talk, so they on point, they get a bypass.
Hey,
But with you not on point, if you
hey.
say something, oh, they are going to rip you to shreds, my
Ooh
brother.
wee. Ooh
When
wee.
I
Hold
say
up.
that balled up homework, like I was crying when I laughed, because I'm thinking about
That's
all the
harsh.
times I balled up my homework. And as a child, you ball up your homework and you throw it in the trash, right? And you like, oh shoot, I done threw the wrong paper in the trash, and then you unfold it. And now you unfolding it and trying to read what you wrote, and it's because the paper's so crumbled up, you can't even, it's hard for you to read it. So when she said that,
Oh, she lit his ass up good, boy. Damn. Woo.
family,
Damn. Wow.
just
Okay.
just a different level of trolling. Like,
She from the
yo,
projects, bro. Like you don't rank like that if you ain't from the projects. I know. We used to
yes,
go back and forth all day. It got to the point when I was a kid, a nigga rather me beat their ass than rank on them. You know what I'm saying? Like it was
correct.
like that. It was me and a couple other people. Like, boy, you just ain't want that pressure in your life. You know what I'm saying? And
Correct.
you get that from being around other project kids
Yes.
because we all poor. You know what I'm saying? And we live in the same little situation, but
Mhm.
we find ways to exploit what's more poor about you than it is about me. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
And we just go at this all day. It's like, bro, that's something unique. And if you spend any time in the projects, I
Yeah.
spend a little, you gonna have that skill set, bro. Hey, Them kids in the projects are not to be messed with, bro. Like,
That's survival of the fittest for
No.
real, for real.
Yeah,
woo-wee.
not at all. Not
Wow,
at all.
wow, yeah, that
So
that was heavy.
so yes, we want to get into another trolling moment
Mm-hmm.
that a lot of people put up, and definitely want to give a little insight and talk about this because
Mm-hmm.
it says a lot. It speaks
Oh,
volumes, right?
oh,
So this picture surfaced,
oh.
um, and Champagne Poppy, aka Drake, had posted the picture on the right in his stories, and he wrote, "If my girls see you backstage, bring thirst is gonna get smoky. It's gonna get real smoky, right?"
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm like, man, he put this caption up, and this guy is over here smothered up with Big Sexy Red, right? That's what her
Mm-hmm.
name is, right? As you guys who don't know the backstory of this girl is a rapper who is being promoted by the dominant society. She really doesn't have too much skills like that. She's very basic when it comes to rhyming. It's kind of like a nursery rhyme, right? We've seen a lot of these nursery rhymers that are blowing up out of the blue, and getting these big fame and deals. And you start to scratch your head like, how do they get the deals when we have so many talented brothers and sisters out here that should be in the limelight and deserve their notoriety? Just like, what's her name? Oh gosh, I can't remember her name, man.
Cardi B.
uh, no. The thorough one with Kendrick Lamar over there. Oh gosh,
Baby
Scissor?
King.
no.
Oh
The
yeah.
thorough rapper. She's real thorough. Is it Cat?
Oh,
Not Cat.
Rhapsody.
Rhapsody,
Yeah,
right?
Rhapsody's dope.
So
Oh,
yeah, we got Rhapsody out here who
Yeah,
it deserves a lot of attention,
she's dope
deserves
as
her
hell.
accolades. She's
absolutely.
super dope, man. We got 3D Nati, who's another one that is on the ground that really deserves a
Monster.
lot of credit. Super
Hmm.
dope, super dope. There's so many great female rappers out there that don't get to shine
Ciroc.
because they want to push this degrading image of female rappers and this degrading image of lyrics that they get to publicize and have other people and children run around regurgitating the same trashness in our community. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why you see a lot of them get glorified like that. And why this was very disturbing to me is because Champagne Poppy kind of reminds me of R. Kelly. And why I say she kind of reminds me of R. Kelly is that these are two gentlemen that can have basically any woman they want in the world. R.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly did not need to be a pedophile. He could have had any woman he wanted in the world
Mm-hmm.
with ease,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And they both made piss poor mistakes. And that was one of the downfalls to Drake because Drake had such a promising career. And it's still thriving, but it hits different now ever since the Pusha T incident, right?
Yeah.
So what made Drake kind of fall off since the Pusha T incident is because Pusha T had found out that Drake had a baby and did not want to share that information with the world.
Mm-hmm.
When we realized, because he was saying he was trying to protect his child, and that is a valid reason to want to hide your child because you're a celebrity, you want your child to grow up as normal as possible, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
That would be a great response or reason, but it was not the real reason why he hid his child. He hid his child because his child's mother was not up to par with the public image that people would want to see Drake with. So I think she was what? She an adult star or something like that,
Porn
or
star.
a porn star, right?
Porn
And
Yeah.
dancer.
Yeah.
he ended up buying her BBL to get her body right and everything like that. So it was kind of like this low energy woman that he ended up getting pregnant when there was so many other women out here that would die to have his semen inside of them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And when that came out, he felt ashamed because everybody wanted to know. Oh, they was like, damn, Pusha T was like, yo, he got a child, and everybody thought he was lying. And then they start doing the research, and then they found the girl. Then when they found the girl, all of that came out, and Drake was not ready for all of that to be released at that time, and it kind of killed and hurt his image severely. And he hasn't recovered from that since, because we've seen him recently going out here with painted nails like a woman. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
it's very sad to see this dude spiraling out of control when he was in a position to really be that iconic dude that a lot of guys could have looked up to, and
Yeah.
it actually went in the other direction. And this is why we have Manifestation 2020, because we want men to have the confidence, the strive, the knowledge, that masculinity, that force. We used to have an image, a black male image back in the day. Like once a black man come in the room, that was like he shut shit down. Like people respected him. They stepped back, they saluted him, whatever the case was be. And we had a lot of men that were like that. Now we're losing that essence of strength and confidence and that pure essence of what a real man felt like. Even just being in the room, you just felt the real man's energy. We don't
Right.
have that like that anymore, and it's deteriorating. So we want to make sure that we get back that energy, man, and start, taking self-pride, having discipline, you know what I'm saying? Things to show that you got standards and you're not out here to just be slanging your meat to any and anybody. Your royalty, your semen is supposed to be looked at as gold. You're not supposed to just sit there and just give everybody your gold. You know what I'm saying? Only a selected few, or even that one woman, should be that one that you give your gold seeds to. And
Real
that's
talk.
not what we're seeing. So we just want to make sure that you guys are out here getting the best crop that you can get, the best selection. And by doing that, starts a lot with your confidence, your image, and the masculinity that pursues and intrudes out in public, so people feel that they want to be that. Nobody wants to be Drake. I'm sorry. Nobody's running around here with hearts in their haircut anymore. Dude took a big L and it just went the other way left. So I'll leave it there, and you guys could pick up and add on to what you guys felt when you saw this picture.
Oh, disgust. The beginning of the end. Threw up a little bit in my mouth. I mean, it's just, I hate to see brothers that are at the top of the game and have everything in front of them.
Mm,
They have their whole life ahead of them.
mm,
Got the world at their feet, and they're on this bullshit. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like, people could make the argument that, Drake is on the same level as her as far as, what
yeah,
they can attract. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Or whatever the case may be. And that's a problem, because
yeah.
Drake is the hottest rapper in the game right now,
Mm,
bar none. Even with
mm,
his, hits that he took from the Pusha T incident and everything else, he's still the hottest rapper in the game.
mm.
And it felt like, he's trying to do this for attention or free promotion or whatever the case. It feels like he's trolling.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like you say, you don't need to do that, bro. Like, as much as people criticize Drake, Drake can rap.
Yeah,
Now, is he the GOAT like some of these little kids be saying? No. Stop. You know what I'm saying? It's not even
yeah,
close, but he can rap. You know what I'm saying? He does have some flavor. And I personally think he'd be ill as hell if he just stopped all this singing shit and just rap. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? I think
Right.
Charlamagne said this a couple albums ago. If he
Mm,
would just rap and like sing the hooks, this nigga be dangerous. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? But he loves this whole Marvin's Room shit. This whole um, you know, softer side of Ja Rule shit he like to do. I don't know what that is. It irks the shit out of me. You know what I'm saying? Because I like the way he rap.
yeah,
But the
Well,
other
he's
stuff
being
is just,
smart. He's going for the money.
he going for the money, yeah. But at the same time, you can't tell me that this guy don't care about legacy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Drake wants to be the GOAT, or at least that's the energy I get from him. When I hear him in an
Yeah.
interview, Drake sound like he wants to be a GOAT. He wants that respect that he don't have. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the way to get that respect is just to rhyme, nigga. You know what I'm saying? And he
Yeah.
just won't do that. And you know,
Correct.
you see him do stuff like this, and it's like, damn, bruh. You know what I'm saying? You bringing down your property value. That's just how I felt when I saw it. You know, and what bothered me, I posted up this picture and another picture from that same reel, and a sister had actually commented on it in a group that I'm in. And let me read this comment to you. This shit
Yeah.
drove me up the wall. My head exploded. She said, y'all Facebook dudes said nobody wants quote unquote modern women. Clearly, Drake disagrees. What are y'all's thoughts about this? Bruh, there's so much wrong with that post. First of all, we just had a show last week about celebrity worshiping.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And when you comment some dumb shit like that, it just says that the entire concept of celebrity worship has
Yeah.
engulfed you. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you see one dude in a picture with one hood rat,
Yeah.
that means that black men generally have embraced modern women, so to speak. First of all, how the hell did Sexy Red become the poster child or representative for modern women? If that's what
Yeah.
y'all are saying, y'all got a
Yeah.
lot more to work on than I gave you credit for. This is your king? Really?
Yeah.
Sexy Red is the poster child for modern women? That's your representative?
Earth's
Yeah.
last best hope.
Bruh. And then this picture or these set of pictures prove that, well, since Drake likes her, first of all, there's a difference between wanting somebody and wanting some ass. You understand what I'm saying? Because he took pictures with her don't mean he wanted. It's funny. It's crazy to hear these old ass women still talking this dumb middle school shit. You still
Yeah.
don't know the difference between I want some ass attention and I want to build a life around you attention. You really think that Drake is trying to wipe this chick up and put her in his mansion based on these pictures?
Yeah.
Really?
Mhm.
So it's just so much that irked me and bothered me about that picture because my thing is it's just a bad look for men generally to see a guy who's a high value man, a peak value man, right, out here cupcaking with this female who has little or nothing to offer anybody, really. You understand what I'm saying? It's just
Mhm.
it's heartbreaking to see that, both for him and for us more broadly, because as we see, there's a certain sect of the female population that this sends a signal to them that, oh, you know, since Drake likes this, then men like this. So you're
Exactly.
going to see more sexy reds as a result of that. You understand what I'm saying? Which is insane. It's bizarro world on 1 trillion, but it is what it is. This is how people interpret things nowadays. And this is the
Exactly.
dangers of social media, celebrity worship, and media trolling. That's the dangers of it in a nutshell. Real talk.
Yeah.
Bobby.
Definitely.
The other issue that you have with that, I want to point out as well, is this is where you get the validation for concepts like the 80-20 rule, where
Mhm.
Drake suddenly now, this unique individual, he doesn't represent the average black male or the average male by a long shot, but yet and still, what he's doing now suddenly becomes indicative of what men are on. And
Yeah.
so the women who listen to that line of illogic now, they start to say, okay, well, this is what men like. So I'm going to start trying to appeal to this demographic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And what happens is instead of appealing to the broader spectrum of men, it only appeals to those that are in the same vein as Drake. And so
Mhm.
that's how you get these dudes, this small circle of dudes that keep on passing the same women back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then you get all kind of other discrepancies and where you see things like, well, how is it that most women have children when most men don't? This is how.
Mm-hmm.
Because sex in these relationships are not on a 1-to-1 ratio. It's not one man to one woman. It's really the same 3 women, 4 women to 1 dude.
Mm.
And
It
so,
is
I mean, that's if this whole idea that if that's not true, that's a lie, it's false, we wouldn't have incels.
real talk.
Mm.
We have a
Real talk.
legitimate, it's not a huge demographic, but we have a legitimate population of males who the dating landscape is so harsh for them. They are admitting that they are not receiving not just sex, but female interaction, female companionship
Real
en
talk.
masse at all.
Yeah.
All these men who are going without, that would not be possible if women were dealing with men on a 1-to-1 basis. But no, it's a small population of dudes that are passing around all the women by and
Mm.
large.
Yeah.
And not only that, but another question I have, and this is also what happens when people are so thirsty to make points.
Mm.
You know, she's saying, "Well, look, this is what Drake is interested in." I would question most women. If you like what she's saying, this makes sense to you. Let me ask you this question: are you attracted to a Drake? Do you want a Drake of your own? A lot of these women
Mm.
will say, "No, I don't want a Drake. That doesn't trap me." But yet and still, what are you doing?
Mm.
You're not attracted to this, but this is what you're out here hyping, what you're glorifying. What do you think you're going to get? And then when you complain about how it seems like you keep on getting the same dudes, you're dating the same man just with a different name.
Yeah.
You got to watch out for the dynamics that you're creating. And if this is what you're interested in, then why are you catering to this?
Real
Correct.
But
talk.
this is what happens when you're not critically thinking, whether it's because you aren't good at it or because you're not actively using it. But you got to see the trick bags and be able to avoid them and navigate around them because they're out there, especially in the social media climate where things go viral and all these things are put out there as a means to, confuse you and to try and steer the course of the culture and everything. You got to be mindful of this because a lot of these things that we're dealing with, that we're grappling with, whatever, this stuff is artificial. It's not
Yeah.
natural, it's man made. But if you're not able to be aware of this and combat it, then what started off as artificial will end up becoming natural and taking on a life of its own simply because you weren't able to course correct in time.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Real talk.
Correct.
Yes, sir. You said it all,
Real
bro. You
talk.
said it all.
Great, great, great
Right?
analyzation of you guys on that topic. So, um, got to be very mindful of what we co-sign out here and what you stand by, and understand that the people sometimes that you look up to aren't really of caliber that you think they are. A lot of time it's low energy people being turned into celebrities, and when you realize that, you start to say to yourself, like, okay, damn, if there's low energy people around here, they're going to be attracting more low energy people because you're only going to get bigger as the person you are. So if I'm a thief and I get, in a room that is full of goods, I'm going to become a bigger thief. Like I'm going to go after some real bigger jobs and things like that. If you got money in your asshole, you just a major asshole with major money. So if you're a person that have low energy and you go out here and you become a star, you're going to attract a bunch of friends and girls of interest that are mad low energy. And we're seeing that through the multiple um, views that we see through Drake, who child's mother was low energy, and now you're over here hugged up with Big Red, who is also low energy, and a woman who confessed on record that she had multiple STDs. So it just shows how much of a man you are when you really dig in the bottom of the trash can when you should be eating at a five-star table. All right.
Real talk.
So
Hmm.
Well put.
definitely want to go into this next meme that I saw, which I thought was very interesting, right? So Michael Bazin put up this, right? He says, I think it was one of the guys on his page must have commented. It says, why a lot of men stay single. Well, anonymous person wrote it, right? And he said, a lot of men stay single because it's just easier. They get tired of not meeting that perfect standard a lot of women seek. They might be single because the women they encounter find it flawed, too short, too dark, too light, too young, too old, too broke, and dismissed with prejudice. Maybe they're tired of rejection and want a woman to show interest first before investing their time, money, and effort. If they encounter modern women, be modern enough to make a move, meaning shoot your shot.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe, just maybe, they are enjoying peace in their lives without the headaches of pursuing somebody. So, what are you guys' thoughts on that?
Hmm.
Agreed.
Well, go
Very
ahead,
much.
Bob. Go ahead.
No, there's we talk about this, and we've talked about this here on Manversations 2020.
Mhm.
We've spoken about this, outside the show in different forums and comments and posts, with other brothers, with ourselves. Um, there's a lot of unrealistic fantasy ideas that women have when it comes to dating.
Mhm.
And I definitely promise when when I get around to having children, if I have a daughter, I'm gonna do my absolute best to keep as much Disney away from her, simply
Mhm.
because there's so much programming that goes on with men as well, but specifically women. From the moment a girl is born, there's all manner of programming and targeting that's being you know directed directly at her from jump. The
Yeah.
whole
Mhm.
Hallmark, De Beers, Kay's fantasies, the Disney princess thing, where there's this where she's a damsel in distress and some Prince Charming who's perfect. He comes from money. He's drop dead gorgeous. He's strong. He's brave and fearless. Just the ultimate man. You know, the top 1% of the 1%
Yeah.
coming looking for her, snatching about obscurity. Bypassing all kinds of way more qualified, way more uh, on par women just for her.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna come and they're gonna live happily ever after and everything, and just everything just coming based off of that. That really does a number on women's psyche,
It
and
does.
it's primarily because there's not too much that comes to kind of break that up. See, they do kind of pitch some of those things to boys when we're coming up as well too. But as they're doing that, there's also enough reality checks from media, whatever, that kind of doesn't let it get settled in too much. So it's more balanced. It's more of a variety of what males are exposed to. We're exposed to the tough guys. We're exposed to the soft nerdy guys. Whatever. We're hit with all that stuff as well too. So we're not really allowed to be delusional for too long.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Real
But
talk.
there's just a conveyor belt for the most part mentally that girls are placed on from childhood that never really gets interrupted.
Yeah.
Even up into adulthood, there's a lot of women who are allowed to reach adulthood, deep into adulthood, while having a lot of their delusions, these, I don't even say delusions, but just these inaccuracies, not challenged, not checked. And
Yeah.
the danger in that is, it's one thing if as a child you get this misinformation corrected. You can be a child and you were brought up on Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy and all that stuff. Then you find out once you hit middle school or high school or wherever, that this isn't real, it's false, whatever. And it might be a little blow, like, oh, I really believed in that. But you bounce
Mhm.
back because children are very resilient, you know.
Yeah.
But when you become an adult and these seemingly innocent ideas about how life works and what to expect from life, and when
Mm-hmm.
these things are allowed to set in, this becomes your foundation.
Yeah.
So now other things, other expectations, other ways that you move out in the world, how you view men, relationships, everything else, all the other stuff that you have, these advanced concepts, they're built on top of these inaccuracies. And anybody that's in construction, anybody that's in building, anyone that's in design will tell you, when you have a design that starts off flawed, the end result can't possibly turn out well. Even if something does happen to look okay on the surface, there's going to be all kind of issues with stability on the inside, especially if we're talking about a design that's meant to be built in the physical, right? That's across the board. If you're doing a tattoo for somebody, for example, and you have an error somewhere, maybe you botch with the color, whatever. A lot of cases, they're just gonna have to go ahead and redo the whole thing or redo the design completely. Now it's not going to work anymore because the foundation is botched. You got to redo it. If you're building a house and the structure, the beams aren't on point, you got to strip all that out there and then redo it, or maybe even knock the whole structure down and start all over again.
Yeah.
And it's no different when a woman has these faulty misconceptions. She's out in the world operating on this information and making huge decisions because we're talking about the men that she's going to entertain, look for a relationship with, that she's going to date, spend time with, going to be giving access to her body, maybe having children with, marriage. These are the kind of men that you're out here looking for because they're supposed to check off these boxes that don't work. And now later on, years later, you find out, man, I got to start all over from scratch. And aside to
Right.
the other damage that can rack up, a lot of people, they just simply get to a point where if they take enough L's, they just don't want to be bothered anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Real
And
talk.
men are no different. So when you have a lot of men who are encountering these women that have these fantasy ideals, they're taking these trivial things and making them, non-negotiables. Women who refuse to talk to a man that's not 6 feet tall. Women that refuse to talk to a men who don't earn a certain amount, and I'm going to be fair, that don't make at least what the average is, what have you.
Right.
Regardless
Right.
of whether they're at that level or not, I mean, they could be making below that, but he still has to, clear the moon, whatever. A
Yeah.
lot of dudes are like, you know what, it's not worth it. It's too much of a headache. It's too much of a pain in the ass to deal with this. Um, and especially if they're not even traditional, they're definitely on the modern wave. And he's like saying, okay, well, you're modern, I'm modern too. Meet me here in modernity. But she's saying, no, I want to do this traditional. I'm looking to mentally shortchange him. I'm expecting to hold you to such and such. But for me, it's largely optional. I pick and choose what it is. Some things I subscribe to, some things I don't. But I expect you to be this. You know, for a lot of dudes, unfortunately, their response is, you know what, I'm just going to cool out. I'm not even phased. I'm not even worried about it. The,
Mm.
the peace that I have from just being single and doing me supersedes the headaches I'm getting from dealing with these people who are unreasonable. Whatever. We're not. I'm not even going to get into the whole passport, bro. Uh, I'm going to leave that alone completely. I'm not
That's
even going to
another
get into
show.
that. That's a whole other
That's a
other.
whole show.
But a lot of dudes are just irritated and fed up by it, and who can blame them? You know,
Real talk. But listen, bruh, let me tell you something. You hit that one out of the park when you started with talking about the bullshit that they start pumping into these women's heads when they 3 years old. You understand what I'm saying? Like the bullshit is just mind numbing that they
it's
feed these
wild.
women when they're this age, that you're a princess and you a queen. You always gonna be a queen, Grua. You are everything, Grua. And there's nothing wrong with putting positive reinforcement in your child's head as a female,
Correct.
as a child, as a person. That's cool. With your male kids too. Positive reinforcement is great. But when you tell them all their life that they're a princess, you understand? And you deserve the world and whatever. And then, as they start to get into the dating age, you know, I mean, people tell their kids ridiculous things. I remember this girl I used to be around, right? Like I had actually dated her friend, but me and the friend ain't work out. But the friend was cool, so she was like trying to put me down with any one of the female friends that I was compatible with. I was like, all right, shit. I put her down with a couple of my homeboys. She put me down with a few of her homegirls. And she had this one homegirl, bad chick. You know what I'm saying? I was really, kind of wanting to talk to. But every time this girl would open her mouth, shit would just fall out. You understand what I'm saying? It was just, she just couldn't control it. She had diarrhea of the mouth, bro. You feel me? And one of the things I remember her telling me that her father told her um, was that a man is not a real man if he can't buy you a car cash. Now, this girl was all of I think 21, 22 years old at the time.
Mm.
And first of all, I'm looking at where she lived. I'm not trying to pass judgment on nobody, but where she lived would bring to question if her father was able to buy her mother a car cash. No shade. I'm just keeping it a buck. You know what I'm
The
saying?
most unreal nigga of all.
You feel me? They wasn't living in Hollywood Hills and shit. Like, it wasn't like that. It was a regular schmegula ass townhouse. You dig? So you're pumping this bullshit into your daughter's head, and you don't even realize that you're handicapping her because she believes this bullshit, and she's telling it to me. Now, it took me a while to get
Confidently
my
too,
game,
probably.
huh?
Probably confidently too. She said it with her whole chest.
Confidently. With her chest. She said the shit with her chest. And I'm the person, as we discussed earlier, when you say something with your chest, I believe you know what you're talking about. So, bitch, I'm gonna call you out. Like, it's going down. So it's that type of thing. So, I had a serious conversation with her about that. I explained to her how ridiculous she sounded. And what was interesting was she said she actually was like, you know what, it makes sense, now that you explain it that way. And me being the man I am, I think one of the things I'm most blessed with, I've never had a fear of loss. And I encourage brothers out there, when you're dating, when you're talking to females, not having a fear of loss will put you at the top of the game all the time.
Yeah.
I tell the truth and I go hard in the paint. And I'm the most consistent person you'll ever meet in life. So it don't matter, if you look like Leslie Jones or if you look like goddamn Zazie Beetz, I'm gonna just give it to you blood raw. You know what I'm saying? And like, I just kind of let her have it, let her know, you're not a bad looking female. You're very attractive. You cool people. But some of this dumb bullshit that you believe is why men are really not checking for you, because she's one of those women, like, when you look at her, you wonder, why is this woman single? You know what I'm saying? She don't have no kids. She very pretty in the face, nice body, da 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 da. She light skinned. The deference that a lot of men show towards light skinned women. She could be ugly as hell. If she light skinned, this nigga gone. You know what I'm saying? So she had all this working for her, but she was like dude repellent. You dig? When I was explaining to her, some of this quirky bullshit you believe is what's running brothers off. You need to tighten up and stop with these silly ass myths. You know what I'm saying? And maybe you'll be able to pull better. And so that's how we gotta talk to sisters. A lot of y'all sisters out there on some real shit, man. Y'all just need a dude around you that ain't trying to fuck you to tell you the truth about yourself. That's the
Solid
long and
dude.
short of it. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these little Derek Jackson ass dudes, who just brown nose you, and you can't tell where your ass ends and their face begins because they so far up your ass talking bullshit to you. You understand? They are not helping you. And neither are these let me slow down. Neither are these
hold on. Let him cook. Let him cook. Hold on.
You know I'm gonna go in. Neither are these less than visually appealing older women that are trying to set you up either. You dig? Pumping all this bullshit in your head, telling you ain't nothing wrong with you or whatever the case may be. They're not helping you either. You need somebody that's going to be honest with you. Your real friends tell you what you need to hear. You understand what I'm saying? Anybody else who's on some bullshit just tells you what you want to hear. They're blowing smoke up your ass for their personal gain to access to you, but it ain't got nothing to do with trying to help you. So sisters, I'm telling you, I'm married. I'm happily married. Nothing that I say on here is pandering to women that's in the audience that I'm trying to hit. You understand what I'm saying? I'm giving you the real. A lot of these myths, y'all need to dispel them and get them up out your space, man. Stop hanging around these crusty females. Stop hanging in these sleazy ass spots. You understand? And get and cleanse your inner circle with people that actually gonna tell you the truth and get you right. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like Jason Black said, this is something I posted earlier this week. Part of vanity and narcissism is your expectation that you have a right to an unfair deal. See, that's what a lot of y'all's problem is. You're narcissistic and vanity, uh, in vanity encrusted ways, got you thinking that you have a right to an unfair deal, and it just don't work like that. You want this pie in the sky ass dude, and you're the stuff behind the fridge. Nah, bruh, it don't work like that. You gotta tighten up. You gotta become what it is that you want to attract, or else your ass gonna be like Kevin Samuel said. You gonna be in the danger zone. You dig? Y'all gotta tighten up on that. And brothers, we really, really, really have to just start being more honest with females. Real talk. I'll land my plane with that.
Simps are the greatest enemy of women. Like simps are truly agents. These dudes that kiss ass just for, in some cases, not even for any benefits. In a lot of cases, they're not even looking for any payoff of it, just because they have this subservient mindset. They handicap these women that they think, in some cases, that they're actually helping. You do them no favors. And again, like you said, there's nothing wrong with, empowering and encouraging young girls to feel beautiful, to feel special, to feel, powerful. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But like everything else, it needs to be tempered with some reality.
Real talk.
Anything, too much of any good thing can be bad for you. You drink enough
Yes.
water in a short enough period of time, you can suffer water poisoning.
Yeah,
If
about that.
if you take too many vitamins in one go, you can make yourself sick. You can poison yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So too much of that motivation, encouragement without that proper, perspective, it can be dangerous for your outlook. And especially as children, without getting tempered, you got to be careful, because as adults, if somebody comes up to you as an adult and starts putting a whole bunch of nonsense and junk in your ears, whatever, as an adult with some level of intelligence and experience, you can recognize, hold on, something ain't right. I know this person just trying to gas me up. They just want something from me or whatever. I know they're full of shit or whatever. You can
Mm-hmm.
discern that. But as children, you don't have that yet. Children are sponges, so you can tell a child anything.
True.
And bless that child's heart, that child is going to believe you. And if that never gets corrected or altered, this becomes a core foundational belief for this child. So essentially, it's a one way. That's how you can groom children.
Yeah.
That's how
Real
these
talk.
predators, they tell these kids all kind of nonsense. They groom the children because children, they don't have the life experience to filter stuff out and recognize bullshit when they hear it or whatever. So it's important from jump, if you're a parent, or if you're a figure that has access to children, if you're a teacher, if you're a mentor, a role model, whatever, if
Mm.
you work with children in any capacity, you are obligated, yes, to guide and mold these young minds properly, but to tell them the truth,
Yeah. Real talk.
to keep them honest. You can empower your children without lying to them, without setting them up for failure. The two are not mutually, they're not mutually separated. You can do both. You can empower the children, but also keep them honest and keep them tempered. So as they grow older, they're not lopsided. They're
Yeah.
balanced. They're
Right.
functional. And they're able to navigate the world properly with the right lens. That's super necessary, man.
I slightly disagree with you on that, bro. I think you said simps are the biggest enemy of women. I say it's a toss up between the simps and the OBSs, the old broad saboteurs. It's a toss up between the simps and the OBS. You know what I'm saying? It's one of the two, because unfortunately,
They
and
arm
I
wrestling
told,
for it.
huh?
They arm wrestling for it.
They arm wrestling for it, and I told you, when I was commenting, and having a debate with somebody we know on my page, one of the younger sisters that I used to mentor actually commented, talking about how she comes to me to ask me for advice. I mean, my God, I haven't, what I'm saying, really spoken to this girl since what? Back when she was in high school. It's been forever, but she used to come to me for advice because older women, her words, not mine, would always fail her and give her some bullshit advice. And that is because many of the older women out here, regarding the younger women, they don't have any answers. They have failed in dating, relationships, marriage, child rearing, child raising, and everything else. In many senses, not all the time. Some of these sisters are doing very well, but many of them have failed. And unfortunately, a lot of time it looks like they want the younger sisters to fail too.
Misery
Mm.
loves that company.
You know what I'm saying? It's a very, very sad dynamic. But that sister posted that on that thread because she wanted this other sister that I was debating to see it. And she never responded to it, but I found that very interesting. You know, um, at the end of the day, though, I think it goes back to what you said, Bobby. Like a lot of these guys are just tired of these pie in the sky ass expectations from these people who don't reflect those values. Our brother Kevin Samuels did an excellent job of putting it out there. How a lot of these women, they expect these amazing qualities when they're quite average. And I'm not encouraging anyone to be average or mediocre. You understand what I'm saying? But I think that a lot of women, particularly, see the average quote unquote guy as mediocre. Shout out Ebony K. Williams. You understand what I'm saying? They see the average guy as somebody that's mediocre. And I just don't buy that. You know what I'm saying? The bus drivers, the teachers of the world, so forth and so on. You can be extraordinary and just not be balling. There is a standard as far as money is concerned, I think, whereas, okay, can you provide for yourself and, provide extra sustenance for a family? I think that's a valid and important question. However, you know, for the expectation for you to be able to facilitate things like, $2,000 shoes, a $1,500 bag. Hell, now they got these Birkin bags. They're $10,000 bags. When that becomes the expectation, you're not talking about a provider anymore. You're not talking about provision anymore. You're talking about living a lifestyle of luxury and having things that are unnecessarily expensive that don't really have anything to do with raising a family.
Mm.
So we need to tighten up on that. But yeah, I get why brothers are feeling that way. And in that regard, I think a lot of them have the right to remain single. You don't have to marry anybody. You don't have to date anybody. Value yourselves. Vet like you ain't never vetted before, since you got a lot of these chicks out here meal
Yeah.
trolling dudes, going out with dudes for free food. You got to check that shit at the door. That's why I'm writing a book on that. You know what I'm saying? The proper vetting process is called the relationship book of questions. So yeah, you dig? I'll land my plane there. And what you got?
Um, you know, like I say, the concept, you guys really broke it down to what it really is the core essence of it. We're filling people up with a fantasy. And when you have this fantasy and it doesn't come true, you also set up a very hard downfall that a lot of these people fall flat on their face, because when you are expected of something and you don't get it, it's going to create a huge line of depression.
Mm-hmm.
And in the process of that, a lot of people can't handle depression like other people can. Some will take a drastic turn when it comes to depression. So you really open up the doors to a lot of things that can be very detrimental to that child in the long run. I know a lot of times we say we want to protect our children, but doing basic things like that is also putting an adequate amount of protection on your child by giving them the real. I think we don't
True.
talk about the real too much. I think we always judge it by fantasy, and a lot of times it come back and bite us in our ass. So we have to do a better job at that. And it's like in anything in life, you have to make sure that you're setting your children up in the right way. Because even when it comes to being real with the expectations of life. You know, a lot of times we're not even being real with our children. We're telling our children to save, right? But we're not out there saving so that our children can see what saving looks like. We're out here telling our children, we want you to have a nice marriage, or, you know, getting the line of finding a great mate, but we're not putting out showing what a great mate look like. We're not in relationships that's 20, 30 years looking healthy like some of our parents got to see with our grandparents. You see what I'm saying? We're
Mm-hmm.
not putting the visual out there. And I've always told people, like, even on conversations, or you catch me on any of my platforms, you got to lead by example. You know what I'm saying? So the expectations aren't being met by a fantasy land. They're met by seeing that their parents achieved a certain, have a certain way of structuring themselves to achieve what they need to achieve. That's more powerful than feeding your children this optimal dream, like, hey, sky's the limit. You can go out there and get it. Yeah, it sounds nice, but show them how sky's the limit. Show
Right.
them that way. Point them in the direction with leadership, and not point in the direction with your finger. Because a lot of times our children are very unproductive because the parent is very unproductive. You see what I'm saying? And it's
Real
hard
talk.
for you to talk to your child being unproductive to get them to be productive if what they see is like you're not even practicing what you preach.
Right.
This
Real
is
talk.
why a lot of children respect mentors more than they respect their parents, because
Mm.
some of the mentors be on point. Some of the mentors is what the children want to be like. You feel me?
Talk. Real
That's why
talk.
you have a lot of children that be like, man, I wish you were my daddy. You
Mm-hmm.
run across a solid brother. Your child run across a solid brother and be around that solid
Yes.
brother. That child is gonna say, that speaks volume. That's not bad on the child. That's just showing you that your child was looking for leadership in you that he couldn't find in you. He found in somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Real talk. And kids will
You
be
see,
honest with you too. That's the scary part. Kids
Oh,
will be
vicious. Hey,
with
yes.
I'm
you
gonna
not
say
expecting
something
it.
that's gonna gonna be hurtful. I know that I'll be shocked if somebody doesn't feel the way after hearing this, but I'm gonna be
Yes.
honest. Um,
Mm.
Yes.
when we have these conversations talking about how some of the music and some of these other figures, whatever, out there set a bad example for children, and people make
Mm-hmm.
comments talking about, oh, well, the children shouldn't be listening to this or whatever, or this, or why should these people have to mind how they conduct themselves? They're supposed to follow their parents.
Yeah.
Some of the parents ain't got nothing to offer the children,
Real
and the
talk.
kids know that. That's why they out there looking to your sexy reds and your
Yes.
Sukiyas and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and your on your rappers or whatever. That's why they're looking at some of these influencers as role models and parental figures, because the ones they got at home, they got nothing to offer the children.
It's sad,
And
bro.
it doesn't necessarily have to be, another misconception is, it doesn't have to be that the parents at home are abusive, or that they're neglecting the child. It's just that the child has questions. The child's looking for a direction of how to go about things, and the parents ain't got nothing. All they can do is say, "Well, I want you to do such and such," or "Do this." They can tell the children what to do, but they can't tell them how to do it.
Right.
And
Mm,
most important, they're not modeling it.
exactly.
Bruh. I am a habitual line stepper. You dig? Like real talk. Like I do this, man. Like I remember I was talking to this girl and she had kids. And she was explaining to me how her kids know all Future songs.
Mm,
Well, why the fuck your kids know all Future songs? You know what I'm saying? Like, mind you, these are not my kids. You understand what I'm saying? But it just bothered me. Like, dude, bro, like, I'm real with this shit. I'm not pretending. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it bothers me when I see people that just allow wrong shit to just go. You
mm,
don't see how that can affect them. These are small
Because you
children.
know what the outcome is.
They were like 4 or 5 years old at the time. I'm like, your kids know all the Future songs, and you telling somebody that, and you proud of it? Why? Because they be at their daddy house and he plays Future all the time.
Mm.
Why the fuck you let him play Future all the time around your kids? Like, I'm going in on her about her kids.
Yeah.
But yo, I felt like somebody had to.
Yeah.
I'm dead ass. Like, and it's like if you got a problem with me and what I said, then it is what it is. You can feel how you feel. But I'm gonna make your monkey ass think before we get out this conversation, because you are harming these kids indirectly, whether you realize it or not. You understand what I'm saying? And like, she was mad
Right.
at me for a while, you know what I'm saying? But eventually, she started talking to me again, and she was like, you know what, you was right. I'm like, I know I was right. That's why I ain't back down from that shit. Like, you gotta stop and think about the type of shit that's in Future's music. Like, if we're even adults, weak-minded adults shouldn't even listen to Future's music. You dig? But you got your 4-year-old listening to Future. They know your kids, more than one of them, listening to Future's music, and that's cool.
And
Yeah.
again, remember what I said. These are children. They don't
Yeah.
have no. They don't have way to filter information. So they
They
take in
don't.
all that, even if they don't understand the words that are said, even if they don't understand the context of what's being spoken on. All that is sitting in there in that subconscious. There's
Yeah.
a lot of stuff, and I know I'm not alone. There's a lot of stuff as an adult now that I every so often recall from childhood, and I literally sit back and I can actually draw the line like, damn, I can see how that influenced me in such and such a way.
Yeah.
There's certain
Real
things that I
talk.
look at now as an adult that I saw when I was a child. I'm like, damn, this was not for children, or wow, I
Real
didn't realize
talk.
that this was being spoken to me. I even just there was a post where my dude was talking about music, and he said as a child when Outkast was out, he said he was just giving his opinion on what the best rap groups were.
Yeah.
He says someone told him that Big Boy was just as amazing of a lyricist as Andre, and he's like, "You crazy? That's ridiculous. Everyone knows that Andre is the best." Then he
Mm-hmm.
went back and listened to some of the music. He's like, "Dude, I never realized
Big Boy is kind
Big
of
had
nice.
bars."
That's real
And
talk.
he dropped the line from Miss Jackson, his
Uh-huh.
verse, and when he looked at it, he's like he was stunned. He and
Yeah,
like
yeah, beats with
because
it.
he couldn't understand, and he wasn't like a little child, but as
Yeah.
a kid, you don't understand things like baby mamas and child support and all stuff he was talking about. He was blown away that wow, I can't believe this was the stuff that was being talked about back then.
Right.
But he didn't have the adult mindset. He didn't have the frame of reference. He didn't have the filter to be able to understand what was being taken in.
Real talk.
But he
That makes
recalled
sense.
it later on as an adult. So you got your child listening to all kind of gobbledygook, hood boogerified nonsense like this. What do you expect What do you expect this child is going to turn out as an adult? And that doesn't mean he's going to be on the streets trapping or anything, but
Right.
the mindset, how he
Mm-hmm.
sees things, sees people, deals with women, deals with men, the
Yeah.
goals that he aspires to. How do you think this is going to weigh on their mind?
Bro, it's real. It's real. And when your job as a parent is to create that atmosphere, to create that environment. Yeah, they're going to be exposed to things that are not so reputable later on down the line, of course. But have you given them the foundation to be able to properly process that or not? You
Right.
understand? And that's where, you got to put on your big boy draws or your big girl draws, and you got to make some hard decisions because your kid's going to be mad at you at first. Look, my pop took my NWA tape when
When
I
are they
was
not
out. I
mad?
was living out in the Bay. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I was out there when the WA first came out. I was living in San Leandro. And my father heard that shit one time. He's like, what is this shit you are listening to? You know what I'm saying? He came in there, took that shit out to hid it
Shoot.
somewhere.
I
You know what I'm
couldn't get
saying?
any tape. I couldn't get any CD with the
Bro.
parental advisory label. I either got the edited version, nothing. Not even for other people. I remember back in I remember back in middle school.
Yeah.
It was my dude's birthday party. I got invited. At
Yeah.
that time, 504 Boys had just dropped. So 504 Boys
Woo!
Wobble Wobble Shake It. That was it right there. I knew he loved the group. I knew he loved the song. I wanted to get a CD.
Yeah.
And I went right in Target. I remember like it was yesterday. I went and grabbed that CD, and I knew what it was going to be. I covered my thumb on the label, like,
Pressure.
don't
Pressure.
let this lady look. Don't let this lady look. I
Pressure.
tried to. I said, "Hey, kid, can we get this for so-and-so's birthday?" Sure, sure. Go ahead, put in the cart. I just put a face down.
Uh
We pull up. I'm just looking to the side, just looking at the candy, trying to distract myself. All of a sudden, what's this? God.
huh.
Now you know, but like,
Yeah.
please, it's not for me. He's cool. His parents
You,
let him listen to
you
all that.
got
Whatever. Like,
roped off.
we're not doing
Yeah.
it. And I
But
had
look.
two choices. I could go empty-handed, or I
Yeah.
can go get that edited. I went and brought the edited CD. Passed the
Bruh.
happy birthday. Man, look at it like, man, what the hell is this?
That's what it is, bro. Look. And see the
But
thing is
that was the upbringing.
by the time you came along, that's what it was. See, when me and Aunt, I think Aunt was about the same time. We were a little closer in age. But when we was coming up, it was a little different because you still had mostly clean rap songs. You understand what
Yeah,
I'm saying? By the time you came along, that shit was done. It's like, you know what I'm saying? You struggle to find a
Luke and
clean rap song.
Luke and Two Live Crew did the damage already.
Bruh, it was crazy. And like,
The
yo,
damage
real
was
talk,
done.
the lyrics and the stuff that I knew from the lyrics that I knew at the age that I knew it, I absolutely do not want for my children. That's why I'm scared to raise kids in this area. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew way too much, way too early. I didn't do nothing with it, but man, you Doodoo Brown, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? That alone, that's one lyric in
Yeah.
that song. One lyric. And it's like, bro, the whole song was like that. And Two Live Crew, that was the order of the day in Miami back in the days. Two Live Crew, Poison Clan, all that shit. You understand? So this was the music that was permeating, the young kids here. Even
Mm.
though, like we say, there was clean music that was out, like I was allowed to listen to Public Enemy and them, they cussed or whatever, but that was revolutionary shit. My grandmother co-signed that. She sponsored that shit. Yeah, they cussing. That's right. We gonna bust these niggas out of jail. Yeah, that's right. You know what I'm saying? Like she wanted me to hear them boys because them boys were soldiers. You
Yeah.
feel me? But this
Mhm.
other bullshit, this come on, baby, we could do this. You can lick my ass up and down, all this shit. And a man telling a woman that at that, goddamn, you know what I'm saying? Like it was wild.
Mm.
But here we are. Here we are.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ed. You
Yeah.
like want to get in there?
No, just you know, I always tell people this story every time it come up is that
Yeah.
my when I was dealing with my ex a while back, I would get in the car with her, like we'll, take turns, using our cars. Like they'll jump in my ride and we'll go to the restaurant, or I jump in her ride and we'll go to the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember jumping in her car and going to the restaurant, and she's playing the music that she would play going to the gym. And that music was raunchy music. And we got the kids in the back seat. So I'm like, I
Uh,
switched it. I switched it. I turned it off and I put it on Hot 105.
mm-hmm.
And they were playing Michael Jackson, you know what I'm saying? And I was, jamming to Michael Jackson and singing along. And the kids, the thing about kids is like, children, when they see how you enjoy yourself or you bring a joyous vibe, they want to be a part of that vibe. So I'm
Right.
over
Mhm.
there, singing the Michael Jackson, dancing, doing the little Michael Jackson moves, and they're just chuckling it up and they're laughing.
Yeah.
And when we got out the car
Mm-hmm.
and they went in the restaurant, I told them to go wait at they have the little bench that you wait at before we get seated. And I went outside and I told her, come outside real quick. And I was talking to her and I was like, listen, when you are traveling in that vehicle, you are by yourself, you listen to whatever you want. The minute those children get in that car,
It's
you
different.
switch that shit and you get
Mhm.
them because you are breathing their mind frame and you are at a level where you understand right from wrong. They're still molded to understanding what right from wrong is.
Yes.
So music to us as an adult isn't influential to an extent as it is very influential to them.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So, when I checked her on that,
Mm-hmm.
she basically changed her whole vibe up and she did what I did. Well, she did what I told her to do.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward, my stepson turned 16, and he wanted to DJ. We got him a DJ set. Do you know this man went to the did you know he went to the party he was DJing and was playing James Brown, uh,
That's
Michael
right.
Jackson, Tribe Called Quest, all the
Love it.
stuff that I was listening to.
Love it.
And it
That's
just
what's up, though.
it's a testimony to tell you that you can guide your children the direction you want to if
Mm-hmm.
you affirm and they respect your leadership by you being real with them. And I've always been real with my stepchildren. I've always told them the real stuff, and that's why they respect me so much. And it
Yeah.
was easy for me to tell them what to do and how to go about it because they understood that my leadership was always going to point them in the right direction and
Mm-hmm.
never point them in the wrong direction, which would cause harm to them. So throughout, even when I see them to this day, they always running up to me, hugging me, high fiving, dapping, like, yo, what's going on? Father's Day, they'll call and everything like that.
That's what's
I
up.
still have a great bond with all of my stepchildren that I've been entered in their life from the past. So I say that because, like I say, you create that bond, you create that base for your children to succeed. And it doesn't take biological parents to do that. You guys are working as a system. See, that's the thing. We want to discipline the kid. We want to have the action of disciplining these children. But to real reality, you don't have to discipline the children if you are raising and putting them under the right leadership. They will follow you without you even having to discipline them. So
Oh yeah.
I just want y'all to keep that in mind and understand that there's different levels when it comes to that. And also, we always talk about, and I want to give before I go on, I want to give the second part to this, right? So
Okay.
Michael Bazin says, I find it both interesting and irritating that some women don't appreciate this man's honesty. The truth is, a
Hmm.
lot of men feel this way, but instead of listening and learning, some women choose to be dismissive or they deflect. The
Mm.
truth is,
Mm.
good men are exhausted emotionally, financially, mentally, with the lack of class, lack of appreciation, and lack of
Hmm.
respect that some women exhibit.
Hmm.
Although I have been mostly successful at finding respectable and classy partners, the truth is the pickings are slim. Yes, I met women who are cool all the time, but I wouldn't choose 90% of them to be partners. So I know what some of these men are going through. Thanks for all the women who are honest and open about what's really going on out here in the terms of quality choices.
Wow. And he said a word. Let me tell you, what the first thing when I read that, it took me back to that place of something I posted earlier this week, where I think it was the Spirit World. They have an Instagram page. I don't know why they call it the Spirit World, but whatever. And they posted something that was encouraging men to express their feelings. And men went on there and they expressed their feelings. And man, these damn wenches came out the woods with the knives out, boy. Like, and all these men were doing were expressing their feelings, saying, sometimes I feel like, I'm not heard or I'm underappreciated. And I want y'all to know that, sometimes we get down to, as men, just real light stuff. Just
Mm-hmm.
expressing, really literally expressing how a lot of men feel. And like Michael
Mm-hmm.
Baisden just said, to his credit, instead of listening and trying to learn something, they just go into attack mode. It's like they read the post with a trigger, with a hair trigger mentality. That's how they're reading the post. As soon as they read the post saying something about men expressing their feelings, they're already triggered and looking for some shit to say. that's evil and mean spirited. It's like, dude, how do we get to this weird space? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I see a post, women express your feelings. Okay, I'll read through it and hopefully I'll learn something.
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise, why would I be reading it? We are different.
Yeah.
Men and women are very different. And that is a strength. We're supposed to be different. If we can understand what's different about one another and learn to appreciate those attributes and have those attributes work to our respective strengths, then there's a mutual benefit in us dealing with each other, which is how it's supposed to work, right? But if you just go into any discussion where the opposite gender's feelings or grievances are being addressed with a hair trigger mindset, oh, I'm about to go off on these niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you're not going to learn anything and you're going to just run in place forever, which is what a lot of y'all ladies are out there doing. Same thing with a lot of these dudes out here that hate women because, look, I feel like misogynist and what's the other word they like to use? Misogynist and sexist are two of the most overused words in the English language when you have debates with women, right? But there are some men out there who are misogynist and sexist. Let's just keep it a buck. You understand? But the problem is when you overuse the word and you beat a dead horse with the words, they don't mean nothing after a while. Because I call you out on your bullshit, you're not making a valid argument. You're just talking in circles, and you got this whole word salad popping, instead of getting to the goddamn point. That does not make me sexist, nor does it make me misogynist. And by the way, you did say that you're of equivalent intellectual capacity, right? I believe you. Okay, so let's have a debate. I'm gonna debate you like I would debate another dude. And if you slip up, I'm gonna light your ass up the same way. That should be fair game, right? But no, you wanna, when shit get too hot, I can't talk to you. You going off on me. Really? And I know I can be a little harsh sometimes. Okay, fine. But sometimes it's not, I go out of my way to not be harsh because I know that I'm dealing with somebody that's, a little soft or whatever the case may be. I go out of my way to not be harsh. They still say I'm harsh. You just want a damn cop out so that you don't have to think and really meet me on that intellectual level and spar with a player. That's what it is a lot of the time, and all of us got to stop that because I see brothers say some ridiculous things. You remember that Cali West character, I had to go in on or whatever, just talking smack about sisters for absolutely no reason. That's what Michael Bays did. I agree with him. I'm irritated as well. Because when a brother, they always talk about how we don't talk. We don't talk, we don't talk, we don't talk. We keep things bottled up. We don't open up. We don't express ourselves. It's like talking to a wall. Da 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 da. Okay, fine. You know what? You're right. We're going to talk. Now, when we do talk, every time we say something, it's an alleged attack.
Yeah.
And I didn't attack you. You asked me how I felt. I expressed it to you. And we should be able to have that dialogue because that is the adult dialogue that we need to have in order to fix problems. I've said this a billion times. I'm going to say it a million more. You can have any number of good intentions, any number of good ideas. You can have all the events and seminars, Derek Jackson does them all the time, whatever the case may be. You can have all that shit. If you're not actually addressing the problem that men and women have, which is getting people to fundamentally be able to make some concessions and change things about themselves when they approach the dating and relationship conversation. If you ain't talking about that, and you don't have good faith people coming to the table speaking on that and encouraging that, you ain't doing shit. You're wasting your time and everybody else's.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Michael Baisden was spot on with that one. Shout out to that brother for that post.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Um,
Go ahead, Bobby.
on,
Oh, I'm sorry, Ant.
no, I was gonna show you guys a little video, and then Bobby, you can definitely comment after that. It's in pertaining to what we're
Stop
talking about.
arguing with these women. If you can't tell her anything, leave her alone. Let's give more attention to women who are open-minded and actually want to understand and grow. This is one of the reasons we die so early, forcing shit. Stop it.
All right.
Yes. Yes. In
You
my
know,
DMX voice.
Short and
Yes.
sweet.
you
Short and sweet.
Woo.
know, it's actually funny to hear dudes say that
Mm.
because one of my people I follow on Facebook, one of the two, I can't remember exactly who it was, one of two people, but he actually said he actually had called in and spoken to on one of Kevin Samuel's broadcasts before, and he actually told him, and he was talking about it in the comment. I forgot what it was in reference to, but something similar along the same vein. And he said one of the reasons he believes that Kevin Samuels died so early, and of course, he didn't necessarily have the best diet. I mean, every time you saw him, dude was wolfing down cans of Red Bull, whatever. He said he believes that one of the reasons why Kevin Samuels died so early is because he spent a significant portion of his later years arguing with women, going back and forth with them. Now,
Mm.
granted, he was doing it for the purpose of trying to help and trying to bring clarity and understanding to the current state of the union between men and women. But a lot of this back and forth arguing with these women, trying to get them to understand reason and logic, for those of the men who are doing it with noble purposes and intentions, you have to understand that that's not ideal. Leave it alone. These people, especially if they came up, if they
Yeah.
grew up on bad information, misinformation,
Mm-hmm.
crackhead logic, you aren't going to penetrate that, because at that point you have to understand that you're looking at it as a one-to-one argument. Well, there's this erroneous idea. I'm going to correct it. It's going to make sense. It's going to be logical. She'll see it. She'll see the light, and then she'll change her mind about it. But when you have people that have these deeply ingrained ideas, these things that take root and become larger than life inside of them, it no longer becomes a case of debunking an argument or debunking information. You're literally going to war with a person's belief system.
Real
They
talk.
really think and believe and feel this, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like having a parent who might be a drug addict or something or whatever, and no matter how bad or how horrible they may have treated them, you still love them. That's still your parent. That's still your source.
Right.
And so there's this conflict inside you. So when you have someone that's way out in the weeds like that, it's not enough to simply just show them and prove them that this is incorrect. In
Right.
fact, I forgot the concept. There's actually a concept out there that basically says that when engaging with people and correcting their false assertions, a lot of the times what will happen is, instead of just having a change of mind, because most people aren't growth minded, they don't have a growth mindset, most people aren't open to being corrected, they'll just double down harder. So that's why sometimes if you
Mm-hmm.
hear someone talking stupid and you expose, hey man, this is full of crap, this is nonsense, this is silly,
Mm-hmm.
even when it's plain obvious to everybody else, instead of being humble and saying, you know what, you're right, I changed the way I think about it, or even acknowledging, saying, you know what, you're right, you're onto something, but I still don't want to relinquish this. If anything, they dig in their heels. They're going to fight twice as hard now,
Yeah.
Yes.
because it's rooted in them. It's not that simple. So you going back and forth with women that don't get it. You got to let
Solid
them go.
point.
You got to leave them to the four winds, and
Solid point.
focus on the sisters who get it. And I've said that as well too. We do admonish and we do correct men and women here, but for the most part, we're definitely on the wavelength of really pouring their energy and attention into the ones who get it,
Right.
because those are
Listen.
the people that you can get something done. You can get something done and accomplished with those people, because you can get constructive things popping. Someone that's
Yes.
hell bent on being obstinate, all you're gonna do is spin wheels, man. You
Yeah.
you gonna be jogging with all your might, on that hamster wheel. It don't matter how fast you go. It don't matter if you're doing Usain Bolt speeds, Shakari speeds. It don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't gonna go no damn where. You're gonna be in the same spot as the person that's sleeping on their hamster wheel.
Real talk. Listen,
Yeah.
bro, you said a word right there. Jason Black was saying something similar to that a couple shows back when he was talking about the difference between Derek Jackson and Steve Harvey. And I found that to be very profound, and I totally agree with him. He's like, the difference is Steve Harvey really believes this bullshit. Derek Jackson is simping because he's a con man. You know what I'm saying? And he's a duplicitous jackass who will just tell women anything. He finds the most weak-minded women and tells them anything, and they buy it, and he makes money off of it. But Steve Harvey really believes this shit. That bullshit he sat down and said to Shannon Sharp about, how women don't have to bring anything to the table, and she can make another one of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, he really believes that. He believes that women are superior to him.
Yeah.
And men more broadly. You know what I'm saying? So when you're talking to a person like that, like you said, Bobby, it doesn't really make sense to try to make a legitimate argument, even if you destroy their argument. This is not a matter of just an argument. This is not about facts for them. This is, I walk by faith, not by sight type of shit. This is their faith. This is just something that they believe in blindly, is what I'm really saying. No matter what evidence you present, they still gonna believe this same bullshit, because the antithesis of what young girls are taught is what young boys are taught. Because young boys are taught that we're not taught that we're kings and that we're young princes and all that shit, all that fairy tale shit from when we're young. We're just not taught that. We're taught the same things, that the girls are the princesses, and one day you want to marry a beautiful princess and give her everything that's yours and all this shit. We're never taught to even want to appreciate anything for ourselves. We're taught to go out and acquire the world and give it to a female. You understand?
We're taught to be subservient, pretty much.
Pretty much. You dig? And so we have to push back against that narrative, because it's very damaging. Shout out Steve Harvey. Very damaging to our young boys, because they grow up to be, mega simps like Steve Harvey. You dig? And that's not something anybody wants at the end of the day. What he teaches is very, very harmful to young men. Very beneficial to young women, because he's teaching them, that they're superior and that they should have the best of the best no matter what, even if they're not the best of the best. But what he's teaching young men is shit. And we have to push back hard against that, because there are too many, old school players out there teaching that same shit. And I know that, they feel like they're teaching something that's beneficial, because at the end of the day, they're preaching, the provide and protect, and that is important for a man to do. But just some of the dumb shit that he says, it's your job as a man to provide and protect, to provide for some woman's kids, not even your kids, some woman's kids. What you talking about, bro? You know what I'm saying? And like, she can make another one of you, so you don't need her to bring anything to the table, because she can reproduce. How's she gonna reproduce without you? I mean, but again, a lot of these old school cats that's out here talking this type of stuff, because Steve Harvey is not alone. There's a whole sect of older black men who think just like Steve Harvey. And maybe for the type of women that Steve Harvey grew up around, that's safe, right? Because women back then and women now are two totally different types of women.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? Women now will weaponize the system against your ass. They'll lie on you. They'll trap you into getting pregnant. and then run your pockets. You understand what I'm saying? Women back then they valued being a lady. You understand what I'm saying? They valued how they were looked at by other women in the community, how they were looked at by other men in the community. You know, we had a code back then. These women today don't understand any of that. Everything is all about them.
Yeah.
Two very different dynamics. I'll land my plane there.
Yep.
Definitely. I think we have to understand collectively that it's one thing to focus on the outlook of red flag. It's another to be rooted in awareness of what healing relationships and feels like, expecting nothing less. Normalize green flags.
No doubt. Yes.
I think we don't do enough service of heightening and highlighting green flags as much as we do the red flags. And a lot of your sisters out here, this is why as a Black community, we gravitate towards drama, is because we highlight the negatives more than we highlight the positives. There's a lot of positives out here, just like we was talking about earlier with Rhapsody versus Big Red. Rhapsody is supposed to get way more attention and supposed to be getting the deserved attention that Big Red is getting that is undeserved. You know what I'm saying? We have 3D Nati, who's a phenomenal rapper.
She's a monster.
She should be on everybody's radar, especially as sisters, to see how a phenomenal lyrical queen that is so dominant in the game and can go toe to toe, and no lie, could go toe to toe with some of your top 5 rappers.
Yeah.
It's a rock as well.
You know what I'm
What's
saying?
up?
That the Sharecropper's Daughter EP.
I haven't heard of, but okay, I'll check her out.
Oh, look up Ciroc essay. First word essay space last ROC. Check out the Sharecropper's Daughter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Monster. I'm gonna know when you heard it because you're gonna get at me about it.
Okay.
That's how I know.
It's like that. Okay.
I'll know once I'll know whether you say it to me or you say it elsewhere. I'll know once you peeped it because you're gonna have to say something about it.
I'm gonna definitely look that up. Look that up. Ciroc. Okay, bet. Because I'm a hip hop head, man. Like I do this, man. Like I used to rap. You know what I'm saying? And I used to like rap, like for real. You know what I'm saying? And I've come across a lot of these cats. Some of your favorite rappers. I've seen them in the studio, and bruh, without their writers and producers, they really ain't much. If I'm being totally honest, you know what I'm saying? They really ain't much.
Oh yeah, lab created.
Yeah,
they're products, dude. They're products, and that's why I really appreciate when I see a lyrical rapper, especially a female, because I see how hard the industry goes out of its way to just make these females promote whorehouse culture. And the vast majority of them do it. You know what I'm saying? The vast majority of female rappers today ain't shit. The vast majority of rappers generally today ain't shit. If we just keep it at a buck, because they ain't talking about nothing. I just saw Queen Latifah post something like that. Talking about how, rappers of today really don't have no content. They ignore real issues that's going on in the world. Like, that's part of what hip hop was about. Where is your critique of the system? Because it's oppressing you too. You don't believe me? Ask Young Thug. That same nigga who was out here talking all that bullshit about, when they asked him about the Mike Brown situation, that ain't up to me. That's for politicians and all that shit. He could barely construct a sentence, but that was the gist of what he said. And now look at what they're doing to you. I thought it didn't have nothing to do with you. But see, this is what happens. When you write some shit off, when you write off injustice, especially as a Black person, you write off injustice against your people, dumb nigga, is gonna come back to find you. And that's the long and short of what happened to him. Now, a lot of people have some very harsh words for Thug, because of his past positions. I still hope the brother comes home. I still hope they get him right, whatever the case may be, because this Sambo that they got in office up there, Fonnie Willis, they carefully handpicked the Sambo to put in office up there just to do this, really, because you still got that cop that shot that brother at the Wendy's up there, who ain't facing no charges. In fact, I think soon as she got put in, she let his ass go. But now you want to bring charges against Young Thug and all these other people over some rap lyrics. That's never been done. You know what I'm saying? Like, where they're indicting somebody, you know, for murder or whatever the case may be, and trafficking and all these other things over song lyrics. So we're going to pick these black people out of, you know, all these white folks that's out here doing crime, whatever the case may be, and we're going to say that their song lyrics are evidence. That's the biggest crock of shit, dude. You understand? And it's unjust. It's unjust, you know, but this is why they put her there. You understand what I'm saying? And we have to be careful about the type of things that we dismiss, because we may end up in that same situation. I pray for the brother, hope he comes home, but you know, that's the chickens coming home to roost if I ever seen it. You don't do shit like that.
Exactly. I wanted to go back to that point you made about Queen Latifah.
Yeah.
And Queen Latifah was one of my favorite rappers growing up.
Me too.
And, she was so powerful. And for her during that time to do something that was never seen before, by rocking the Nefertiti cap, you know what I'm saying?
It's a big deal.
Wear of the African garments that she had on. She gave us in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, the presence of what a Egyptian princess looked like.
Right.
You know, and it was an aura about Queen Latifah that just made her stand out from all the other rappers.
Agreed.
Men even included. It was just something about her, and we gravitated to her knowledge. You know, UNITY, you know, who you calling a bitch? Like, that was like, yo, nigga, respect me on some shit. And we went and we respected that. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because I know this isn't a person that we would embrace or we endorse here on Manifestations 2020.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, a broken clock is always right twice a day.
True.
And this broken clock, as much as he agitates people, he does say some real great stuff. And I want you guys to see this part of this clip. It's not long, it's a short clip, and we'll definitely discuss it afterwards. All right, so let me go ahead and share this screen with you guys. All right, here. Okay, allow. All right, here we go. All right, y'all ready? All right, let's go.
Yeah. We can't hear.
Oh, you can't hear?
Can't hear, bro. Bring it back. Bring it back.
Just
the volume.
Hold on. I think it's something about. Hold on. Okay, hold on. It's got to be something about the volume. There's a share volume. I forgot. Hold on. Where's the volume on this? There's a volume.
check the little volume button down there on the video.
Yeah, that could be it.
That's it.
No,
that's up.
It's up. It's up. I know there's something when you go to sharing, you have to hold on. Let me close out this. Hold on.
Okay.
Stop sharing. Hold on. I think there's something where you got to hit a certain button. Hold on.
Okay. Well, shout out to everybody in the chat while he's doing that. Mila Renee, what's up? Lowell, what's going on?
What's good?
I need everybody to like this joint, share it, comment. You know what I'm saying?
Hit that bell.
Hit that bell, man, and subscribe, to notify, all that. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. Let's do it. We're gonna be doing some more promo things soon. So y'all stand by for that.
Hold on. Tell me if you guys can hear it.
Okay.
We'll try it again.
No.
No?
No, sir.
Dang. Oh, gosh. All right.
Now we heard the other ones. Well, did you play another one? Yeah, you did play another one. We heard
Hold
those.
on. Hold on. All right. So you can hear me now, right?
Yes, we hear you just fine.
Okay. So everybody can hear me. All
Yeah.
right. So we'll do
Yeah.
it like this then. Okay. That's fine. We'll do it like this.
Go ahead.
All right. 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Da-da-da-da-da. All right. Sorry about this, family. Things like this pop up. We're
Little
trying to get
technical
it straight.
difficulty ain't never hurt nobody.
All right.
We G's
So,
in here. Let's go.
all right. Here we go. Hold
Yeah.
on. Okay. All right. Let's crank this up. All right. Same time, my brother. All right. Here we go. Oh, hold on. Okay.
You telling this to people who don't even know how to decode a facial expression. Listen, scientific studies show that the male can't even determine if a woman trying to attract him or not. Listen. So they tell you.
It's low. It's very low.
It's very low.
Yes. I heard that the male can't even determine something, but it's very low.
And that's why you got to stay away.
All right. We're gonna have to. You guys gonna have to check this out another time.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what? Just drop it to your page later on. Everyone can go there and
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
keep it there.
So basically, what it is that Charleston White was saying in the video. You guys can go back. I'll give you guys the what you call it. Hold on. Let me drop the
And drop the link on the video. Yeah.
the what you call it. So from 5025, right, to I think it's what I had here. I had it from 5025 to 5150.
Okay.
Right? So you guys could go and check the video out. And it's I think it's Zulu Vision TV.
Okay.
All right.
Bet.
And I
Mhm.
need y'all to go and check that out. So I put that in the chat. That's the time frame. So basically, what Charleston White was saying, right? So he got into it, and this is the girl that a lot of people that he was basically debating with. This woman name is Priscilla, the Queen Maker, right?
Mhm.
This is her auntie, aka Pastor P. This is a woman that they're trying to promote
Mhm.
in a way to get her to be a spokesmodel and a spokesperson for women. She has a lot of anti-male venom in her.
Mhm.
Of course.
She tries to basically cover it up a little bit with facts, or she claims it's facts, right?
Mhm.
Or statistics. And sometimes you can present statistics based on, and if you have it in a narrative or a narrow form where you want to project it from, which she
Mhm.
did at first in the video. She comes at him after he's finished speaking. She says, "Yeah, men can't even decode whether a woman is trying to talk to them or not. They don't have the mental capacity to even decode that. So you
Mhm.
talking to a whole bunch of people that can't even decode that. You want them to understand what you're saying." And she was like, yeah, she pointed to the girl like, yeah, girl, statistics, show that men aren't able to decode that. And that is such a crock of shit because men can decode those things. We got to understand that the reality of it is a lot of men don't want to pick up on that because they get in trouble for it if they misconstrue what they feel like is a woman trying to get their attention or acknowledge them in that way. So
Mhm.
it's kind of a protective defense mode unless you go up and say something and let it be known, then that's a different story.
Yeah.
but to sit back and try to get a guy's attention, and you want him to jump on it as a signal to come talk to you, a
Mhm.
lot of times that doesn't work out in the guy's favor, and
True.
it ends up backfiring, and then he ends up being put in a bad place depending on the woman that is using that tactic. You know what I'm saying? Because it could go from being she could go from being the aggressor to now being the victim and saying that this guy, oh man, he was too aggressive with me. So a
Right.
lot of times guys are very, they trend on thin shoes, right? They're on very lightweight. They trend very lightly because of that.
Mhm.
And I think women have to take that in consideration, especially with the Me Too movement. A lot of guys aren't going out there being like back in the days where they were confident enough to go up to you and ask you out. Now it's like, oh, you're trying to harm me, or this guy is aggressive and toxic masculinity. And you have all these words out here that just deplete a man. So now he's just weakened to the point where he feels like if I do it, it might be something that ends up being bad for me in the long run.
Real talk.
So she said that, and Charleston isn't a person that will check that. So he let that ride. But what he did check her on, and you guys will see, is that he was telling her, like, look, the woman who had the son, you remember when the guy and the girl was arguing inside the restaurant, and she was going back and forth with the guy, and Charleston said, that woman right there is a bitch. And he called her a bitch because he says no real woman would argue with a man to go back and forth. He said, when I was growing up, the essence of women, this is why I tell people there's a difference between feminism, feminist, and divine femininity. Like the women that you're talking about, like the Claire Huxtables and the Debbie Allens, these were the women that had divine femininity, meaning that when these women come in the room, all the dudes are at their game, like they like looking like we don't want to do anything to make
Right.
these women feel uncomfortable.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
They actually, when they step in the room, it automatically tightens up all the men in the room.
True.
That was the essence of a real woman. A real woman wouldn't even back and forth argue with you. Like he said, he stated something that was very, very profound, where he was like, look, if that was his mother or a real woman, like the essence of a real powerful woman that don't say nothing and her presence is felt, she wouldn't even argue with the guy. She would remove herself and be letting this fool argue with himself, because that's what real women do. They ain't got time to be sitting here arguing with a man or a boy that's trying to present himself like a man. She already knows this dude here is an unhealthy boy who don't know how to address a woman or talk to a woman in that manner. So let me remove myself. Shit, I might not even want to eat here. I'm going to remove myself out of this situation and go somewhere else. You feel me? And he made that point, and it was so dope because it is true. Like, there's certain women that walk in and you be like, man, yes, ma'am. How you doing? Everything okay? Okay, cool. You ain't trying to holler at her. You ain't trying to do nothing like that. You just want to look your best
Just
and
pure
feel like you're
respect.
presenting the best man of your version in front of that woman. So
Right.
if she see you somewhere else and she be like, man, that was a young man that I saw. You presented yourself real good. You feel good now. She recognized you from before. You like, oh shoot, she did notice me. Dog,
No
I'm
doubt.
telling you, there's levels to women. Right?
There is.
There's levels to women. And when he broke that down and he said that to her, oh man, she got quiet. She got quiet because any woman knows they've seen the essence of a real woman that walks into a room, whether she's young or old. When she walks in with a certain persona and a certain energy, the whole room tighten up. You
It's
got
real.
guys when those women go in that room, you
Mhm.
got guys that will run to the door to open up. Yes,
True.
ma'am. Yes, come
Yep.
in. Yes,
Very
I've seen
true.
it
I've seen it.
myself.
Yep.
I was part of that myself. I seen it
Mhm.
myself.
Yeah.
So when he said that, I was like, this dude speaking some gospel. And like I tell you, we don't promote, Charleston White like that. But man, the broken clock is right twice a day. And when I tell you, boy, that was the clock that strike at the right moment in that period that I gave you, that you guys could look out for.
Mhm.
Because that essence of a real woman, we're losing that. And we're losing that to propaganda. We're losing that to the image that they're pushing out and the people that they're pushing out. So
True.
instead of getting the real essence of the Queen Latifahs, the Bahamadeas, these
Yo.
women that used to come out there and just show. You remember that you're talking about the early form of Lauryn Hill.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was like essence of real women.
It was.
We're losing that. So now
MC
you're
Light.
pushing all of this women out here that don't have that class, that don't have that character. Because let me tell you something.
Mhm.
As much as Claire Huxtable is a fictional character,
Mhm.
she is a real person. This is her real. Like when you hear her talk, when you
Mhm.
hear Felicia Rashad talk, you can't separate her from Claire Huxtable.
Dude,
She is Claire Huxtable.
it's for
The
real.
real life Claire Huxtable, on and
Yeah.
off TV set, that's who she was. And let me tell you something, if Claire Huxtable was to walk into a room full of anybody,
Mhm.
everybody's bowing down to her.
Yes.
Everybody is gonna look at her with style and grace and respect to the utmost. Nobody's gonna cuss at her. Nobody's gonna go back and forth at her. If she stepped on somebody's shoe and was like, man, why you ain't watch your feet? They'll be like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, man. I didn't even. They would be
Yeah.
apologizing.
That's real. Well, see, you hitting on something very, very key. And I will say this. I can agree with him to the point that um maybe she's not the best representation of what we've seen. I wouldn't call her a bitch, you know what I'm saying? But I would say this because I don't know. I saw the video, but the video's grainy, whatever the case may be. Um, I don't know that she was necessarily going back and forth with him. She seemed like she was just trying to calmly say something to him in the parts of the video that I saw. She seemed like she was just trying to say something to him, and he was taking it in a certain way. He was the only one really getting loud and belligerent. She seemed like she was just, trying to talk to him. You know what I'm saying? This guy was just flying off the hinges. But to the larger point, let's take her out of the picture. I get what he's saying because a lot of these women, that you have this selective femininity out here, right? Where they want to be the woman and the victim when that's convenient, and then they want to jump up in your face like they much man as you when that's convenient. It don't work both ways, unfortunately. You got a lot of women out here, they'll jump up in your face and try to fight you. They'll swing on your ass quick, and hell, we had a story of a couple months back, not even last month. Some woman shot and killed some man in his apartment over something stupid. Another one just like it a couple weeks prior. Then the pregnant lady robbing the drug dealers. You understand? So we have this weird type of energy going on among a lot of women where, their masculinization is really starting to show, and show. When I say show, I mean they're confronting men out here. You know what I'm saying? And putting men in dangerous positions, killing men in some cases. So that respect, that deference, that reverence, that, pedestalization that we used to give a lot of women back in the days, unfortunately, the way that the tides have turned is not affording us the same luxury to be able to do that in some cases because if we let our guards down around some of these women, we are seeing that it can be harmful to us. We can be harmed. I mean, seriously, up to death. So I take his larger point. You know what I'm saying? But I like I said, I'm not gonna call a lady a bitch. But you have a lot of women out here that do have that mentality that he's talking about. You know,
Mhm.
where they're gonna be the baddest bitch. And they're gonna jump bad on a dude, and they're gonna get up in his face and they're gonna try to fight him because they hard as you are in their mind until they get knocked on their ass. You understand what I'm saying? And it's not fair. It's not cool. I don't advocate hitting women. You understand what I'm saying? But just the other day, for instance, what's up, Mona Lisa? Just the other day, for instance, Monica jumped off stage, because he saw a man swing on a woman in the crowd when she was performing. And there were people in the comments that were asking, well, what did the woman do to him? And I found that very interesting because 15, 20 years ago, nobody would have asked that question. You swung on a woman, dude, you're wrong and you need to be punished for that, and severely. And I don't disagree with that sentiment to this day. If you're not being harmed and you just swinging on a woman because of something she said, that's some sucker shit. You need to be punished, and severely, right? But
Yep.
the fact that we even have to ask that question now because so many women are out here harming men, and swinging on men and pulling knives on men and pulling guns on men and harming men to the point where men have to defend themselves against some of these women
I
speaks
saw that.
volumes.
I saw that, right? So
Yeah.
my question to you would be, I was looking at different videos, but I could not see, they didn't show the guy, right?
Mhm. Right.
But I asked because one of the girls posted it, and
Yeah.
I asked the woman, and I said my question on there was this a regular man or was this a gay man?
Interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting.
Sookie now.
Very interesting because
Because you
yeah.
remember, like if you look where it took place, it was
Mhm.
close to the stage.
Mhm. Mhm.
The average man that's going to a concert,
Yeah.
especially a Monica concert, if
Mhm.
they're that close, they're there with their girl.
Right.
Most men who go that close to the stage are not really, they don't classify themselves as men. They kind of look at themselves as women. So if it's a gay man
Mhm.
and a woman, they're seeing each other as women. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I wanted to know, was it a gay man or was it a regular man? And
Or what?
that's what I wanted to know.
It makes
Or
a
was it a
difference. Yes, it does.
transsexual that identifies as a woman? Because if that's the case, then by liberal ideology, then it's two women fighting, right? I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
a
Yeah,
gay
so
man looks
It's
at
it's
himself as a white
2023.
woman. Yes.
right, because no, I get you when you're saying the gay man and they're having, a little bitch fight or whatever the case may be, but it's a whole other situation if it's a transsexual man or what do they call them? I forget what they call them, but it's some special kind of woman that's not a woman at birth, but you're a woman now because you identify as a woman. Then technically it's two women fighting each other, right? Well, see, this is why I don't get into that bullshit. You know what I'm
I
saying?
just get so
Because
confused.
I mean, at the end of the day, if you are a male, if you have male genitalia, you really shouldn't be hitting on no woman unless you're really being threatened like that and you have to defend yourself. Then it just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But
But at the same token, right? At the
mhm.
same token, women can't be out here campaigning for no Saucy Santana that's going off fighting other women as well.
Right, right. Well, this
You
is the
feel me?
slippery slope because who promotes the Saucy Santanas of the world? Certainly ain't us. You dig? So this is why you have to be very careful about what you co-sign, as we said
Yep.
earlier about some other things we were discussing. You got to be careful what you co-signing out here, sisters, because you could be, by co-signing this whole, trans agenda, giving men the wherewithal to just beat your ass when they feel like it. They're already letting them into prison so they can rape you whenever they feel like it. So, at the end of the day, this is not too far off.
And the slippery slope, on that side is women say that we don't protect. So now when a man comes in and hits a gay man, now we're faced with legal laws that probably will put us at a hate crime now.
Right.
You're a homophobe now.
Right. This is the thing. You this whole thing where you want men to be men when you want them to. It don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't. If you want to suspend your protective mechanism, and allow these type of things, there's penalties. Now, Mona Lisa just made a comment. When I taught at alternative schools, these young girls were putting hands on boys for no reason.
Yes, they have.
Truly
I've
out
seen
of control. They are starting young and they are very angry. And this goes back to what I said earlier, right? Shout out to Mona Lisa for that comment. This goes back to what I said earlier. The comment where the post that I put up where the men were expressing their feelings and these women were coming in there just attacking them for absolutely no reason. These guys were just expressing their feelings. What is the likelihood that those women would physically attack a man for absolutely no reason? They're verbally and emotionally attacking men for no reason for the world to see. So again, going back to the whole Monica thing, I thought that was very telling. A dude swung on a chick, and people were not really attacking the dude, except Monica. Monica, she got out there and she kind of got at him. But people generally in the comments, they were like, "Well, what did she do to him?" Speaks volumes about how you are being viewed now, ladies. You're being viewed in many instances as the aggressors, the people who are doing the harm. You got Mona Lisa here. She teaches and she's putting it out there. They ain't making this shit up. You understand what I'm saying? It's women out here going at guys left and right like it's just all good. And you will be humbled, ladies. I'm telling you, these guys out here, they ain't taking them chances no more.
See, there's too many examples now. There's too many firsthand witnessing of these events, but not just that. We talk about this when it comes to men deal with women in relationships as well. But this is true across the board. The internet and social media in particular has allowed people all over the world to compare notes.
Yes.
And they're realizing that what I'm seeing on my block is not just exclusive to here. This is happening other places too. So this isn't just a little localized, isolated, unrelated event.
This is
what's happening in Detroit is happening in Cincinnati. It's happening in Houston. It's happening in Newport News. It's happening over in Raleigh, Durham. It's happening all over the place.
Right.
So when all these, and I don't know if you've noticed, but with all the fight videos that are going viral and popping up on feeds now, more and more of them are women than men.
Yes, they are. Oh, don't even talk about like spring
and that's
break,
not even
Memorial Day weekend. It's always a plethora of black women, unfortunately, fighting in the street. It's heartbreaking.
The women are outpacing the men too, and even and it's not. Before someone tries to say, "Well, that's some kind of agenda thing," no, because the crime data is reflecting it too. Now, for the most part, men still lead the way in terms of violent crimes like battery and assault, but the fastest growing demographic is women. The women are now it's skyrocketed now.
Bruh, it's crazy.
And domestic violence rates have been showing, at least for the past several years or so, that domestic violence rates are showing that the amount of violence initiated by women is equal, if not greater, than men. So a lot of the times these police come out to these homes for domestic violence calls, and they're finding out, well, the woman hit first. And then they're finding out, well, the woman hit first. And then they're finding out, well, the woman hit first. And then they're finding out, well, the woman hit first. And then they're finding out, well, the woman hit first. And then they're finding out, well, the woman hit first. And then they're finding out, well, the woman hit first. And then they're finding out, well, the woman hit first. And then they're finding out, well, the woman hit first. And then they're finding out, well, the woman hit first. And then they're finding out, well, the woman hit first. And then they're finding out, well, the woman hit first. And then they're finding out, well, the woman hit first. And then they're finding out, well, the woman hit first. And then they're finding out, well, the woman hit first. And then they're finding out, well, the woman hit first. And then they're finding out, well, the woman hit first. And then they're finding out, well, the woman hit first. And then they're finding out, well, the
Yeah, yeah, it's wild out here.
The dude hit her, yeah, but the woman hit first, and he
Yeah.
responded. He didn't initiate. Even most recently, and of course, people overlook that, but even most recently, in that video went viral of Dana White, UFC
Mm,
president, hitting his wife. He popped,
mm.
I think, twice. But if you saw the video, she hit him first.
How about that? How about that?
He didn't
Let's
come out the
keep
blue. Everyone's talking about him, but she hit him first, and he responded in kind. He didn't go bullying her. He responded to it.
let's keep it
So
a
people
buck.
are seeing, and they're saying, "Wait a second, y'all aren't innocent like y'all keep portraying yourselves to be."
There you
Well,
go.
and now the question is becoming, like you said, well, what did she do first?
That's it. And that, I'm sorry, that's a legitimate question. I'm sorry. I had to say it. People may have a problem with me because I said it, but in seeing the lay of the land now and the way a lot of women are behaving with regards to men, whereas, they're just being the aggressor in many assault cases, it's a legitimate question now. And sisters, that's going to whittle away at your protections. If you are seen as the aggressors, then the whole, don't ever hit a woman thing, that's going to go out the window eventually, because people are not just going to sit there and let you attack them. It don't work like that. Let's just keep it a buck while we're at it. Rihanna hit Chris Brown first. Okay?
Well,
Rihanna hit Chris Brown first. She said it.
and
Right?
hit the man, not just hit the man, but hit the man while he is driving a high-powered sports car.
I'm just saying, you know,
Now, if they crashed, they could have both died. He could very
exactly.
well have saved their lives by popping her back into the chill out.
I'm just saying, women want these protections, and I feel that women should have these protections. But you're going to have to conduct yourselves accordingly, ladies. And when you see these hyenas get out of line out here and disrespect the game like this, you're going to have to check them. Because, as long as men are saying it, they're just going to write it off as misogyny. Like I said earlier, misogyny and sexism are two of the most abused words in the English language. When men are checking them on their bullshit, they're just going to write it off as, oh, you're a man and you're a misogynist or whatever. But when more good faith sisters, when more India Iries start coming out and speaking against this behavior, that's when we're going to see some real change. You have to draw a line in the sand and say, hey, I ain't supporting this fuck shit. And if y'all got a problem with me, then that's just going to be what it is. But you have to look at the long game trajectory of what's going on. If we keep allowing the Sukihana's and Sexy Reds of the world to take over the airwaves, what are your daughters going to look like in 30 years? You got to really think about that. You understand what I'm saying? Because look, I can tell you on the flip side, there are black men out here that have really pushed back against a lot of these toxic male rappers out here. When Lil Wayne said that coon shit about Emmett Till beating up pussy like Emmett Till, Dr. Boyce Watkins and other people got together and they got on his ass. They got on the people who were sponsoring his tour, and they got his sponsors to drop his ass. And the tour ended. That's accountability. And sometimes you just got to go like that. I'm sure they didn't want to go hard like that on dude, but what you doing out here talking reckless like that about Emmett Till? Emmett Till's beating and murdering is what was the catalyst for what we know as the civil rights movement today. So many people died, so many people went to jail, so much was sacrificed because of the murder of Emmett Till. And this Sambo goes and makes a song lyric about it? Really? I'm sorry, I'm just hypersensitive to what people say little fuck shit like that, but they don't understand the gravity of their words and how harmful those words can be. You understand? We can't let shit like that go. And there have been other situations, where black men have gone after people. When Lil Wayne came out and said that coon shit about Black Lives Matter. T.I. checked him on that. You understand what I'm saying? Shannon Sharp, who is it? I don't know if it was Wayne that Shannon Sharp checked. Well, Shannon Sharp checked somebody for saying something coonish. But my point being, Among men out here, there's accountability. If you say some reckless shit, somebody else gonna come along and check you. And it needs to be that way for the sisters also, because you got these women out here just running amok and making a mockery of black women. What was that plantation shit at the Meg Thee Stallion concert? Boy, Janelle Monáe, who doesn't even identify as a woman anymore, by the way. Okay, she doesn't even identify. She corrected an interviewer the other day when she called her a woman. Really? But she's out here talking all this yin yang about what needs to happen for women, and she don't even identify as one no more. You got to know when you have people talking out of their ass representing you, and you got to check it. You got to stand up to these people, man, because at the end of the day, they're representing you, whether you like it or not. And they got a whole bunch of corporate money behind them. And the white corporations, they don't want the Queen Latifahs of the world coming and the India Iries of the world coming out inspiring these young sisters. They don't want that. So you have to say something. You have to push back against it, period. And there can be no waffling. There can be no wavering, no fence sitting. That's why some people, I just don't listen to what they say no more. I take what they say with a grain of salt, because you think you're doing so much and you ain't doing shit. If you're constantly back and forth and you haven't drawn a line in the sand between what is acceptable and what is not, you are of no use to black society. That's the long and short of it. I'll end my plane there. What else you got, Ant? I know you got some other stuff on the slab.
What do you mean as far as what?
The videos and the
Oh, no,
the
no,
Yeah, the
no.
meetings.
goods.
No. We definitely want to move off into this one sector real quick before we get into Hell Nah, and that's our trending weekly topic. And I
Okay.
meant to bring this up last week, but I didn't get a chance to do it. But this week topic that we want to discuss is basically Boosie and his daughter. When we talk about trolling, we're talking about two individuals that have been on social media basically trolling each other. It all started with a situation where I think Boosie had broke it down. He says, I take a car from her leaving ATL, laughing out loud, a big lie. She left all she left ATL out of nowhere because she knew her mom had filed child support papers on me. This is after I bought you an 80K car. I've always taken care of my children. She wasn't saying this 2 weeks ago when she was in ATL going shopping on shopping sprees and every day, and has never said this, but now I'm not I'm not a dad, spoiled. If you go down, talk down to your father, the truth about your mother, who's been arrested over 12 times for stealing and been in and out of jail your whole life. Your dad always tried to raise you not to be this woman. You called another woman mama the first 3 years of your life. We took care of you when she was in and out of jail. Your mother named you after another man when you was born. I changed your name and took responsibility when you lived in Atlanta. You went to private schools and excelled under my roof when she got you. She controlled your mind. What what mom lets 19-year-old men stay with you when you are 15? Shaking my head. What
Mm.
mom and daughter get together to put child support on a great dad, then playing like you don't know what's going on? What mom waits till you have 19 months before you make uh, 18 to file child support? It's a money grab. Get that out of here. You have no guidance, and in that household, your grandmother has spent over 17 years of her life in jail for stealing also. May and May for your birthday, you got the car and racks. Your mom said I was the best dad, shaking my head. Take your lick, all and y'all tried to play me and got played. Y'all will not be in that 2003 AMG Benz boo boo. Y'all know I'm not the one to play with. No lies. Told y'all all people will try to kick you when they think they can. Um, that was Boosie's response. And his daughter, this is the car he bought his daughter. He bought his daughter a pink AMG. And she was like, nigga wanted me to ride around in a bubble gum pink car and got mad because I changed it. Bitch ain't walking, da da da. I can't really read all of that. But she changed it from pink
Bishop,
to
it ain't
black.
my fault. You,
I can't even read that. I ain't even gonna
I don't
try
know if I
Oh,
to.
want to.
So she wrote this nigga give his bitch the world and can't even support his own kids. Old tender dick, loving stunting for the gram ass nigga. I could rarely air buku shit out, but I'm all be humble before I tarnish a nigga career.
oh God.
I never was big on him having money or materialistic shit, so being a loss is nothing to me. He been a bitch and gonna stay a bitch. Really mad at myself for giving him another chance to be a dad. He a hoe, and you gonna stay a hoe, and that's why he'll never be labeled as my father, cause don't know hoe running blood. Fuck wrong. I don't care. It's all about all that. You need to post this. People want to see you down. Woo, woo, woo. None of that phased me because, okay, yes, I'm mad because that was my car, but it's the fact this nigga supposed to be a father, but nigga never had a father to be one. So I understand, but still don't front on social media or to people like you the father of the year, because you not. Is niggas with no money and a better father than you. Don't know who run in my blood. My mama blood run all through me, and like she damn near made me herself. Torrance just a sperm donor. That ain't my father. Don't act like one never did. Only act like one when he knew props was going to be given, or just for social media. Oh, social media loving ass. I hate niggas. All right, so that was
Wow. Wow.
basically the thread that they were trolling each other on social media.
Woo.
So
There's so much
my thoughts.
toxicity. My eyes hurt from reading that bullshit. Like, God
Yeah,
damn.
Oof. I got like
What
definitely.
heartburn off.
what
So
kind of
there's
bullshit
two.
is that?
So there's two sides to this, right? So my take on it, I'm gonna break down both sides to it.
Okay.
So when it comes to Boosie, I feel like Boosie did play the role of a good father when it comes to providing and making sure that his daughter was there when the mother was in and out of prison. That's not something that was found to be untrue from what I heard and researched. So, he was telling the truth on that part of it. Um, a lot of times, a lot of these children, they kind of feel themselves. You know what I'm saying? And they'll get bold, and especially in this time, in this era, they get more support now because now things are on social media. So now I can gain followers that can support
Hmm.
my ideology and BS from China all the way to California, from Greenland all the way down to Antarctica. So I can get on there and I can get a echo chamber of what I want, as far as results of people campaigning and supporting what I got to say. So a lot of these children will get on social media to amp stuff up to also gain support
Yeah.
in that realm. I think that's what she did. She was mad because he pulled the plug away from her car and took it away from her. Anybody's going to be mad about that. Um, I feel like when we talk about single fathers, they're statistically single fathers are known to be um, better producers of children than single mothers. That's facts on that. That's
Hmm.
statistical facts that show that because single fathers still produce a two household system versus a single mother, which only produces a one household system. So when he says that I put you in private schools and I did all of that and you succeed under my roof, I think that is true as well. You know, so I will give him props on that. Now, the bad side about it is that even though you were a father that was doing what he's supposed to do, you still did not, as a man, choose a good quality woman to have a child with. So you cannot knock a woman that's in that realm when you, as a low energy man yourself, that's what you chose and that's what you impregnate. So you
Hmm.
pretty much are getting basically the investment you put in to a woman that was low grade from the get go. So when you having these problems later on in life, sometimes you got to look in the mirror and say, you know what, I kind of made a mistake. Now I love my child. That's always going to be known that you love your child because your child was a beautiful product of what you made.
Yeah.
But you got to understand who you created it with. You just wish that person would have been a different person in the long run. Because here is the problem when you do that and you create with low energy like that, you know, those problems are going to be reoccurring because now when you select a woman that's that low of an energy who's been in and out of jail and you know her mama was in and out of jail, so there's a pattern of low gradeness within that family structure
Yeah.
that is more likely going to pass to your child because now you're seeing the way she's behaving and the way she's campaigning for her mother means that she's going down the same path and going to be the third generation of women that is going to be in that same failing mentality era,
Right.
right? So you got to take accountability for what you have created and what you've done. And instead of you trying to fight against what's going on, you need to make sure that your sons that you have is not making the piss poor choices that you made. Now,
True.
on the other side of it, you know, I don't know too much about the mother, but I will say this. You got to be very careful about toxic women because a lot of these toxic women, when they are put in a position, they can make your life a living hell. And if for you to say that she waited to the age of, you know, right before 18 to put you on child support, I'm not knocking her making that move. That's a smart move for a money grab on a woman that ain't got no, she's not in a mindset to build her own financial institution or her own financial backing. So that's a way for her to get some extra cash out of the situation because she probably knows as a man, you get high, you get drunk, you're all over the place. You're probably not even organized. So therefore, you don't have the receipts that show I did this throughout the years.
Hmm.
You can probably go by hearsay, but when it comes to the court, they want to see receipts. And this is why we always tell people, and I know I've said this before on this platform before, that you have to document everything you do. And it's not documenting to say, yeah, yeah, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. No, it's documentation to protect yourself just in case a woman takes the Boosie baby mama route.
Yeah.
Because
Real
when they
talk.
come to court, you can be like, boom, your honor. And let me tell you something. And I know a lot of people out here think that a lot of men don't have rights like that. even though they give a little edge to the mother with rights, let me tell you
Yeah,
something. When you come documented, when you come with your shit and your
it's
A game,
different.
man, let me tell you something. Them lawyers and judges, they on your side. You gonna get what you gonna get more than the mother when you come with your A game as a father. You providing receipts. Oh man,
Right.
that judge gonna dig in that woman's ass.
Mm-hmm. Real talk.
Trust me, I've seen it. I've seen it. This ain't
True.
just talking. I've seen it. So you got to be very careful when it comes to that aspect. I really hope that they can mend what they have. I know a lot of times people, especially children, talk out of hurt when they feel like they're hurt. So I hope that they can piece together what they have and, get back to their normal life and build on, what they had from before and try to make it better and make a better example and pave her on a better way and keep her on the same better way that she was from before and not slip in the cracks and end up being like the third generation of her mother and grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my take on that. And I definitely hand it over to you guys.
Well, let me just say this, man, before I even say anything. The thing that just jumps out at me is two things really. The blatant disrespect that they use when they talk to each other, particularly the disrespect coming from her to her father, and the fact that they felt that this bullshit was appropriate to post on social media. You know what I'm saying? None of this shit belongs on social media. Period. You know what I'm saying? That's the first and most
Bing bong.
pertinent thing. None of this has any place on social media. It is outrageous that you posting this type of bullshit on social media, putting all your family's dirty laundry out there. Boosie talking about all the ain't shit bitches he done been with, basically. That's still your child's mother, bruh, and you still chose her. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it is. At the end of the day, and her mom, you knew that was the situation and who she was going in. You still impregnated her. So really, we talked about this a few weeks ago where, you're trying to make somebody else look bad and you really just end up making yourself look bad because you chose this woman to bear your seed. You know what I'm saying? That it's just outrageous to me. I mean, you were reading it and I swear this shit is just vomit inducing, man. How do you talk like this about your father? How do you talk like this? No, he didn't really talk that badly about his daughter. He talked very badly though about his daughter's mother and his daughter's grandmother. Granted, these are the people that they are, but you chose these people to be your daughter's mother and daughter's grandmother. That's the long and short of it. And once you've done that, it's certain things you just can't say and do. And as a parent, she was particularly disrespectful when talking to her father. You don't do that. That's a huge violation. You know what I'm saying? That's a otherworldly violation. But as a father, you're supposed to be setting the example. So that's an ultra violation for him. You know what I'm saying? This is a train wreck. And this is 101 of how you don't want your family business to play out on the internet. If you ask me, you know what I'm saying? I seriously, seriously pray for the healing of that family. Hopefully they can get some counseling. Somebody else needs to intervene because at this point, the way that they're talking to each other is just going to lead them to be dismissive of whatever the other party has to say. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure they both have legitimate grievances, but social media ain't no place for this shit to play out. None of these niggas can't help you. They just gonna laugh at you and ridicule you and low key wish y'all more destruction. Wish your family be more fucked up so they can be more entertained. That's what's gonna come of you posting this shit on social media. So I pray they tighten up. I pray they get some type of counseling, some professionals involved, and fix this shit because this is a hot mess. This shit is a train wreck. That is absolutely how you do not do things as a family. Wow, that was sad. That was sad to even read and listen to, but I guess that's what it is. I pray for him. Bobby, it's you.
All are
Um,
you, Bobby?
I don't want that to fall on my lap. Um, yeah, I mean, you said it right. The real tragedy of this is that this played out in a public forum for the whole world to see.
Hmm.
And let's be honest, if this was an argument or a conversation that was held behind closed doors, um, I sincerely doubt that it was going to be um, as disrespectful as it was.
Right,
You
right.
know, um, this is still his child, and I don't know how old she is exactly, but I don't believe um, she's out of the woods as far as being a teenager. She might be 18 or 19 or something like that. But
Mm,
uh, if I'm correct, then this is still a very young woman, and this is a woman that has a lot of issues with her past and with her upbringing,
mhm.
and a lot of things going on. I don't know the whole backstory behind their family and everything, so I can't speak a whole lot in regards to that. But clearly, this is a young woman who doesn't have, obviously, the strongest relationship with her father. And so it felt as though that there's certain liberties that were being taken by Boosie, um, that he didn't necessarily have the emotional and relational investment to take. If he's been, and this is something we have to be mindful of as well of men. Yes, our jobs for our household, our primary objective is to be the protector and the provider of our households, where make sure that the people under our care, under our charge, have a roof over their heads, have clothes on their back, food in their stomachs, food in the fridge, in the pantry, in the cupboard, or whatnot. And it's important that we're out there getting it, that we're getting the bag, make sure that our families are good in that regard. But we also cannot forsake the provision that comes from being there in the physical as well. And the money plays a huge part. Let's not be stupid. Let's not be naive about it. When you talk about provision, a significant portion of that is the bag. It's the finances. It's the resources.
Right.
It's a tool that's used to secure not just life but also quality of life. You can't do anything without money. Everything costs. That's
No
just the way
doubt.
it is.
Yes.
And the brothers who keep on trying to distance themselves away from that, they try to shy away and downplay that. It's a losing mentality. You are not winning in the game of life as much as you may think you are. With that being said, that does not absolve you of the obligation to be a present father.
Hmm.
You need to be there in the physical. It can't just simply fall on the women to go ahead and do the raising, changing of the diapers, and the sitting, taking the baby when they're crying, being there and teaching the first words, um, you know, spending time playing with the child, going to the first games, the first recital, the graduation ceremonies. It can't just be on the women folk. We need to be there as well.
Hmm.
Fathers matter.
Talk.
You can't be out here parroting that men are more than just their wallets. It's more than finances what men bring, and yet you are not there to give more than your wallet.
That's that Akon shit. Yeah.
It's
Nah.
pick a struggle, nigga. So it feels as though Boosie, especially given the position that he's in, where he's able to make a substantial living, he's famous, he's a celebrity, makes a lot of money based off of his profession. He's essentially able to afford his children the good life economically. But now the question falls to what was the quality of life he provided for them emotionally, in the physical, in the flesh.
Right.
And this is the first time you've heard about some suspect or some interesting things as far as relationship. I mean, do we need to go
True.
into the whole idea of him going out and getting a script or getting a prostitute for his son's 16th birthday? I mean, do we need to go there? So this is clearly a brother, and I also, she did it as a dig at him. She did highlight the fact that this is a man who himself did not have a father growing up. So he's attempting to do the best job he can, and we talk about people giving their best and doing the best that they can. Sometimes we forget that sometimes the best some people can manage is a train wreck.
That's
Got to
real.
be fair about that.
That's real.
And especially considering who he is. I mean, this isn't just a guy who didn't have that male leadership, that male parental figure as a child, but this is a man now who also has access to a substantial amount of money and resources.
Right.
There's a lot of dudes that will probably make some of the same bad choices Boosie did if they had some more greenbacks in their bank account.
Mm-hmm.
But he's trying, and you got to give him credit for that. But at the same time, even though we can give him credit for that, and I believe we should, that doesn't absolve him of criticism. Just because you're doing the best you can does not mean that you get carte blanche and everything is sunshine and without justification for criticism. No, we can still criticize your work. We can acknowledge that you're trying and probably doing the best that you can with the information and knowledge that you have.
Mm-hmm.
But we can still take a look at the quality, if for no other reason than as a learning lesson for others.
True.
Children need their parents, they need their mother, but they also need their father. And again, they don't just need the finances, they need you there to be there for them, with them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not sufficient enough to just not be the bad parent. I'm not the parent who is locked up. I'm not the parent who abused you. It's not just about what you're not doing, it's about what you're doing. And I think we spoke about this before as well too when it comes to raising children.
Mm-hmm.
It's not enough to teach your children this is what you don't do. Don't look for this in a person. You don't want to do this and that. It's not enough to tell the children what they should not do. Just as important, if not more important, is to tell them what they should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Give them the example. I've seen people say stupid things, and every time I want to throw a solid object at them, the heaviest one I can pick up reasonably. When it comes to raising their children, oh, I'm not gonna raise my children to do such. I'm not gonna teach my children to do such and such. I want them to be their own person. I want them to make their own decisions. You dumbass. No.
They're children.
No.
They're children. That's why they're called children.
If that was the case, you'd be letting them eat ice cream for breakfast. They'd be eating Pop-Tarts and fruit roll-ups and Capri Suns as a routine, regular part of their balanced meals. No.
Real talk.
They'd be staying up late playing video games and going to school at 10 in the morning, dead to the world. No.
It doesn't make sense, man. It just doesn't.
You cannot be afraid to be a parent. You cannot be afraid to lead. If you are a parent, you are a de facto leader. You are the leader of the children.
Well,
your voice is what the children will listen to. You literally are responsible for their life up until they reach the age of accountability where they're in a position to go out and fend for themselves. That's your job. So you need to be there. You can't just simply lead from the back of a checkbook. You need to be there in the physical. You need to know your children.
You sure?
And of course, for some that's more difficult than others. Some people need to work harder. Some people need to sacrifice more. Sometimes you're gonna have to sacrifice and miss some key moments.
Real talk.
But for the love of God, as much as possible, it needs to be your top priority to when you can show up, to be there.
Right. Now, are you sure? Because, Will and Jada raised their kids like that. I'm just saying. Will and Jada raised their kids and just, let them lead by example themselves. And, they turned out, well, I'm just saying.
As much as I'm not one for political correctness, even with that being said, I'm aware that with great power comes great responsibility, so I have to be very careful of what I say.
Yes.
Because I would like to say a few things. But some things you
That's why I
can't take
said that.
back, and even as little cares as I have, even
Uh-huh.
some of those things, I'd probably have some remorse about vocalizing out loud. But I will say,
Mm-hmm.
um, all are not created equal. I'll put it that way. And
Yeah.
in some cases, less
Mm.
can definitely be a whole lot more.
I'm
But
just
as a
saying.
general rule of thumb,
Mm-hmm.
as a
It's a
general
general rule
rule of
of thumb.
thumb, you need to be there.
Teach your damn
And
kids. I agree.
and 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 another, and I do want to touch on that for 3 seconds. I don't want to dwell on that at all. But the idea of banging on the other parent for all the flaws and failings that they have, especially if these were things that were evident beforehand.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I don't want any of that jive about, oh, I didn't know. You knew, you mother
Bro,
father. That ain't
don't
the word
get
I
me
want to use either.
started.
You
Oh,
knew, because you
you
knew already, just based on how you likely interacted with that person. You knew up front what category they fell in. 'Cause let's be honest, from the outset, with most men and women that we deal with, we know what box these people are likely going to fall into.
real
We know the
talk.
ones who were really looking at and considering for something significant, for marriage, for husbandship, for wifeship. We know who those people are, and we know those who fall under the category of a good time.
True.
And we know that most of these people that we have our children with, a lot of the times, these aren't people that you would have chosen for this role.
True.
I've
Absolutely
yet to
true.
hear, with the exception of celebrities, people go out and target, and in those cases, because you looking to get the bag. Most times, people do not go out and say, you know what, he'd be an amazing father, man. He has all the characteristics I want my child to have and experience. I'm gonna let him knock me up tonight. You
Mm-hmm.
don't hear dudes saying, "Damn, man, she's patient, she's kind, she's sweet, she's so knowledgeable, man. She's really nurturing. Yeah, I gotta shoot the club up, man. She the one. She gonna be my baby." That does not happen. It's never happened.
And you know what? That's the problem. That is the
You
problem.
chose that, and you were successful at the job. Now all of a sudden you want to go and castigate that person. No, if you go and slander them, make sure you slander yourself too, because that's who you gifted your child as a parent. That's who 50% of your child's DNA sequence comes from.
That's it.
But make sure before you even say a lick about them, make sure you ragdoll yourself as well too. Let's be fair and just.
Real talk.
Right?
Well said. Well said. And
Yeah, definitely well said. And that wraps up this segment for because there's nothing more to say to it. You know, guys, you got to just pick better, man. You got to pick better. You're gonna end up with 18 years of a nightmare, and it's really not 18 years of a nightmare. Is we say 18 years because that is the minimum responsibility of years that you co-share with the other parent. So
mm-hmm.
it's the minimum of 18 years. But as you know, these children are in your life forever. So the more you prepare them to get to that next level, the better it is for you as well. And it makes you break off the connection with the mother if she is a toxic person that you are not able to co-parent with. Once that child turns 18, then you know the child is has the right to come to your house and talk to you solely and don't have to make the decisions with the parent. You know what I'm saying? Or it depends on what y'all situation is. If they go to college, maybe you guys have to still go ahead and make that same dual decision on both parties. So just be very mindful about that heading into the future. And that way you guys can avoid a lot of bull crap that comes along with it. With that being said, we're definitely going to go into our next segment, which we did not do last week. All
We
right.
back.
So
We here.
we're back this week. All right. So I know
Yeah.
a lot of y'all missed out on it, but we definitely gonna get into the hell nah and hell yeah. All right.
Hey,
All
Let's
right,
get it.
let's get it. Let's get it. All right. Up front, first up, Debbie Allen.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, hell
Shout
no.
out to Sister
Hell,
Debbie. Heavyweight.
Hell yeah.
Heavyweight.
definitely. All right, Spike Lee. Hell yeah, hell no.
I'm gonna give Spike
Hell
Lee a hell yeah.
yeah, I love Spike.
I
love
like
the body of
Spike.
work.
For the culture, hell yeah.
For the culture. Yeah, you damn right. Do the right
All
thing.
right. Samuel L. Jackson. Hell yeah, or hell no.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. I
One of my
like
Hell,
favorite
mother,
actors
father,
ever.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
Josh Allen of Buffalo Bills quarterback. Hell no. I'm a Dolphin
Hell
fan.
yeah. I like Josh Allen. What you got against Josh Allen?
He's an AFC rival. Fuck am I gonna sit here and support? I got my own.
What they got to
goddamn
do with whether
quarterback.
he's a good quarterback or not?
Nah, no.
Oh, you's
Man,
a hater. Oh, you's a hater.
We don't do that in the same conference, bro. Give us anybody else in out of our conference, we'll choose that. You
man, hell yeah to the brother.
understand?
Josh Allen's a beast, bro.
Charles Barkley. Hell yeah, hell no. Hell no.
Hell no. Hell, oh my God, I can't stand that bastard. Ooh.
Take the Tupperware lid off that's been in the fridge for God knows how long. Take the whiff. That hell no. Oh, hell. Oh.
Via sneakers. Hell yeah, hell no.
Hell no. Whack.
I
Hell
Always
no.
was whack. Even in that time, they was whack. It just was whack.
Nah. And Via A6 over a Via. Hell no. If you want some trainers, hell no.
I agree.
Jasmine Guy. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Jasmine Guy's dope.
Simone Biles. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Good sister.
Shout out to the
Good
sister.
This next guy is Bobby Drake's uncle. Jesse Lee Peterson. Hell yeah, hell no.
Hell no. That's a coon right there, boy. Oh my God.
Disrespect.
Oh man. I didn't know that was your Uncle Bob. My bad.
If this was the 1800s, I have to pull off my glove, pop you in the jaw, and I'll see you outside with the duel. You out of pocket.
Oh man.
Hell no. To Uncle Jesse.
He's hard.
The grandfatherly coon.
Tashina Arnold. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, that's
Hell
a
yeah.
rider. Shout out to Tashina Arnold. She is a rider's rider. I like her. She can act too.
Yes.
She got chops.
Ari Fletcher.
Hell no.
No.
Hell no. It's one of the most toxic females out here, bro. Like, oh God. Oh. I don't know why chick follow her. I'm still trying to understand.
You still thinking about the bra, Bobby?
That bra was ridiculous. When I found that out, really? Then some cat came on there and said, "Oh, he has one of his girls do that too." I'm like, "Bro, you want to see it?" No, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see your girls unmentionables, nigga.
Bruh.
No.
I need excuse me, Elon. I know you busy prepping for your MMA super fight with Zuckerberg, but can you please make your priority to get back to building these space colonies where I need off this planet, man?
Real
Done.
talk.
All right, Insecure. Hell yeah, hell no. I like Insecure.
That's a hard one, man. Cause
For me it's a hell no.
I had to
It's a
say
hell no.
hell no, bro. I had to say hell no.
I like the fact that they use a lot of underground music, a lot of artists that really isn't mainstream a lot. They gave a lot of exposure to that. So,
Let me keep it a buck. The show is funny. But Issa Rae is one of the most toxic human beings on the face of the earth. My God, this I can't.
I mean, the cast of the other girl that's on there, she's like, oh gosh.
You talking about Amanda
I'll
Seales?
give a hell yeah to
Amanda
the
Seales.
Jesus God.
I can't stand Amanda Seales.
I will give a hell yeah to the execution. And I think Insecure
Agreed.
probably has definitely set a template as to how to go ahead and piece together black programming. It's a great idea. The dream of
Yeah,
Insecure, I would say, is a hell yeah.
yeah.
But who's at the helm and what it actually has done a lot to put out
Jeez.
there, that's a hell no.
Whack.
I
Just
I won't
whack.
throw the baby out with the bathwater, but I gotta
That's
no.
why I say hell no. Cause oh God, them
uh
chicks.
Marilyn Monroe. Hell no.
Hell no. I've
We
yet
got we
to
got
understand. Somebody explain to me what the goddamn fascination is with black women and Marilyn Monroe. What the hell,
because
man? Like,
they don't know Dorothy Dandridge. If they
I
knew
guess.
I don't think they care.
this is why education and history is so important. Because if they know Dorothy Dandridge, that's where Marilyn Monroe got her style and grace from.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but we don't
Praising
glorify
the
because we
the copy and not the original. It's
well
a
it's
shame when you have one of your heroes or heroines, one of your idols that you look up to is basically nothing more than the most famous side chick ever.
yeah,
I
That's
mean,
but
my
like
but
God.
but
she got railed by a president. That's no better than saying, oh, I love Monica Lewinsky. I have her poster up. I have a replica of the dress she got. I even put up my own little makeshift little stain on the dress or whatever. That's the same
She's
thing you're
just a
doing and
better
saying.
looking Monica Lewinsky. Real talk. That's it.
but you guys got to understand that our culture, we're breeded and basically programmed to worship people that don't look like us because it's
True.
the same thing with with the image of Christ, right? So the
True.
image of Christ is is not in a natural state. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
that's why I love the episode of
Good
Good
times.
Times.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a very powerful episode. You know what I mean? Um, so yeah, definitely. All right, next one, Twin Peaks. Hell yeah, I like Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks is
Hell
cool.
yeah. I rock with Twin
Yeah,
Peaks. Their beer is off the chain. Hell
I
yeah.
only recently came into the knowledge of Twin Peaks. Not this year, then late last year, but definitely good to have in rotation now. Hell yeah, the
Yeah,
Twin
Real
Peaks.
talk.
definitely. Um, Ginger Bay Cafe. Hell yeah, that's a pioneer.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yes,
That's a
that's a
I
staple in
ain't been
pioneer.
in
That's
South
a
an
Florida.
grip. I'm
icon.
long overdue.
Yeah, it's
Long
an
overdue.
iconic.
That's South
Iconic.
Florida right there, man.
Yeah.
That's a vibe.
Michelle Williams. Who's that?
Destiny's Child, man.
That's Jeff.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Um,
The other
Uh,
one. People say y'all even know who she was. God damn, yo.
no,
Wow.
you ain't
because
right, man. You ain't right.
I'm not.
Really?
No. I'm not fucking with her because she's like a zaddy worshiper and she just got into.
Yeah, that's
A
why
word? I didn't
she
know that.
Yeah,
she's
you
wiped
didn't
up to
know
this
that?
dude that's suspect.
Oh man,
I just knew that
she
she was
had
the
a.
chick that everybody always doesn't acknowledge from Destiny's Child. That's all I knew. It's like, why is it people? So that's why. If that's
Oh
the case,
no,
I can't
It,
rock with her either.
She never started out like that. She was just always a quiet one. She has a nice shape,
yeah.
nice body.
Uh,
But the thing about it is, later on in the years, she got with this white dude, and then she had a mental breakdown. I think they broke up, and it just really took the group.
It was some
Like,
suspect. I know. Tariq actually dug into that a little bit and kind of tossed some
I,
details out there. But
I remember that. I remember that. But she was a zaddy
yeah,
worshiper, or she just had a zaddy.
I think she just
no,
had. His, I'm not willing. I'm
she
not
was a
willing. Oh,
zaddy worshiper. I ain't seen her
Okay.
with
oh,
nobody else.
Okay. I ain't.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to. Cause I was rooting
I'm
for
gonna
the
have to
sister. I
hell
wanted
no
to get
that
up out
then.
of that.
yeah.
Uh,
When I found out about that, I was like, oh Jesus.
yeah,
I'm gonna have to hell
yeah.
no that
And
then.
dude was like a big time Republican supporter. Like
Yeah, I
it
remember
was
that.
real cringy.
Yeah.
It was
Some
real
pastor
cringy.
dude, whatever. This real,
That's
Yeah,
real
why
it was
Tariq
shady,
was on
cringy.
her
real
ass.
shady dude.
Yeah, it was real
Yeah.
cringy.
I
All
remember
right,
that, man. Yeah.
Joe Mathis. Hell yeah, I like Joe Mathis.
Hell yeah. Judge
Yeah,
Joe
Joe Mathis.
Mathis. Judge Joe Mathis is official.
Joe
Judge Joe Math.
Joe.
He's a
Who's,
character.
Yeah, he
who's
is
Joe Mathis?
The judge. I'm not gonna talk about that video he got out right now where he's on the roller coaster screaming.
Who's
Oh
that?
man, that shit, boy.
Yeah, Joe. I fucks with Judge
You gonna
Was he
lose
one
Mathis.
of the
respect
TV?
for him for a few minutes, bro.
Was he one of the TV judges?
Yes,
Yes,
he was a TV judge.
the one with the low top fade and the glasses.
Oh, you mean Greg Mathis?
Is that
No,
Is his name Greg? I thought it
Yeah,
was Joe.
you know what? You getting confused with Judge Joe Brown.
You damn right. It's Greg Mathis. My
Joe Brown and
bad.
Greg Mathers. Yeah, I'm like Joe. I'm like, oh, they changed the game on us. Wait a minute.
It's Greg. My bad. You right.
That's the-
I stand corrected.
Oh,
Shout out to
Bruh.
Greg
both those
Mathis, yeah.
brothers.
I fuck
Matter of
with Greg
fact,
Mathis.
big shout out to Judge Joe Brown. I believe I heard that he's running for
I
mayor
thought
in
that's who I thought. That's
Mississippi.
who. Yeah, that's who I was picturing. Joe, like Joe Brown
So I
in my
fused them
head.
together. I
Yes.
Voltron their ass. Okay, so it's
I
Greg
want to see what that
Mathis.
look like. Joe Mathis. I want to see who that look like.
No, Greg Mathis is thorough. I
He
fuck
the
with Greg
truth.
Mathis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That brother used to drop so many gems during that show, man. For
Oh yeah,
real.
yeah. Oh, the one the ultimate gem was how to get. He told the black dudes how to get their record clean again. He
Yeah,
said,
yeah. How to
go
get
back.
expunged.
Yeah, he said, go back to the court that you got arrested from and show them that you didn't get convicted for it, and then demand that they take you out of their system.
Yup.
Like, man, you done
That
dropped some
was
gems on me.
major,
That was dope.
man.
Yeah,
Shout
that
out
was
to that
major.
brother.
All right. Here's Major's great uncle, Larry Elder.
Oh hell no. I can't stomach that nigga.
Yeah.
Nah, that's a hell.
I can't stomach that nigga for nothing. Nah, bro.
See,
Not
social
him.
media made people real liberal with the disrespect, man.
Oh,
That's
oh.
wild.
Maya. Yes, hell yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
I love Maya.
Maya ain't never hurt
That's-
nobody. She's so nice in person too.
It's Maya Marie
her
Harrison
song,
Drake.
yeah, her song, Fallen. Oh,
Yeah.
that's using my favorite group's beat. That was Far Side Running, right? She used the Running
Yes,
beat
No
yes,
doubt. No
yes.
doubt.
and did the Fallen. That shit's so hot. That's a
Yeah.
hot
Or
ass
that
track.
that Mood Ring. All her albums really hit, but
Yeah.
Mood Ring that was a classic R&B
Beast.
album. Doesn't get respect.
Yeah.
Fear of Flying was a really really good one too.
She don't
Yeah.
get the credit she deserves. Her voice is ultra
don't.
feminine, by the way. Ultra feminine. Like
And it's
she
real too. That's no lab grown artificial gimmick. That's her vocals. She
Yes.
really
No
is
doubt.
about that. She's very much a true songstress. She's
Yeah.
really an artist, really is.
Yeah.
And
No
she just
doubt.
started decking my calls. Maya, what's going on? No, I'm not ready for this to be over yet.
Yeah.
Last
Next
but
time
not
she's down,
least
I'll
is-
have you meet her.
Last
Good,
but
good.
not
Don't play.
least is
Don't play.
I got you, dog. I met her a couple times. We'll talk. Go ahead.
You
Ant.
best man at the wedding. Off top.
last but not least is MC Light. Fuck yeah, I fuck with
Hell
MC
yeah.
Light.
Light the MC is taking no short.
Light as a rock.
Light
Yeah,
is
I
a
fuck
beat.
with
Light
that
is my all-time favorite female rapper. Like this chick, yo, she just I like her personality, her swag.
Got a rough neck,
Just
gotta get a rough
yo,
neck.
she's a monster, dog. Very
Versatile.
underrated too.
And from what I hear, she's a sweetheart too.
I don't know. I've
Real
never
down
met
to
her, but
earth.
yeah.
She's
I've heard
cool. She's
I've
fucking
heard
cool.
nothing
She's
but
real
good
down.
things about her.
I
They
met
You
say
know in
she's
this
real
industry,
cool.
if you cross people, they'll let you know about it. But I haven't
Yeah.
heard any ill remarks about her. Humble, down to earth,
Nah,
approachable, shows love to the
Yeah.
fans and everything. No diva.
I met
That's nothing. Real
yeah.
solid.
No doubt.
I met
He's
her. I met her. She's real down to earth, like the
word.
way she is, the tomboy, the cool, your homeboy type vibe. She's just
Yo,
like that in person, dog. She
that's
doesn't.
dope. Let me tell you
She's
something. What'll surprise you? Just a little known fact. Trina's like that. Bruh, I've met Trina about 5 or 6 times. Dude, Trina is one of the nicest females I've ever met. Not just female rappers, just nice. Your mouth will hit the floor. How nice Trina is. And then she has this image. Mind-boggling, bro. Mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. All
All
right.
right. So tonight's crown check. I'm not gonna do the honors of it. I'm going to let Major do the honors of this crown check tonight.
All right.
He knows more about this sister than I do. And he selected her. And I guess he'll let everybody know who this sister is. And our crown check tonight is definitely the recipient. Boom.
Is that, hold on, Lioness Crowned?
Jade.
Jade
At,
Arundel,
yeah.
Lioness Crowned. All
Go
right.
ahead.
Jade
ahead.
Arundel, Lioness Crowned. She's Lioness Crowned on Twitter. She is one of the sisters who spoke at the Foundational Black American Rally. She was so eloquent. She was really, really getting at folks, you know, in her speech. And, you know, she's an up and coming political candidate. They are grooming her right now to become a political candidate in DC, I believe. I know it's definitely in the DMV, but I believe it's in DC. They're grooming her currently to become a political candidate. You know, I hear her all the time. You know, she calls in, expresses her views, and so forth. She helps organize with a lot of the events that Tariq throws and so forth. And she's definitely a up and coming. You know what I'm saying? She hasn't done a whole lot, but she is an up and coming. She's a very conscious sister. Reminds me a lot of Erica Lachey. You know what I'm saying? The picture that you chose is the reason why I was like, is that her? Because the picture looks a little different from how she normally looks. But this is a powerful sister, man. When she speaks, people listen. She's very knowledgeable. She carries herself like royalty. Very powerful sister. And, you know, she's out here, you know, speaking truth to life, truth to power, and learning as she goes in life. She's taking some direction from Tariq Nasheed, which can only end up good. You know, she's also an up and coming candidate with Marcel Dixon. He ran in the last election cycle. He didn't win. He wasn't victorious this time, but she's part of the crop of the new candidates that they're molding to put out here to run for political office. Very conscious sister, very royal sister, very much about her business, very serious sister. You know, when you talk to her, you can hear, you know, from the time that they first started, you know, bringing her into the fold to now, you can hear the growth. You know, this sister is ready to start getting out here and moving and shaking, and she's already doing some things in the community. She did a lot to facilitate the FBA rally, as we stated. She was the host of the FBA rally. She's doing a lot out here. And the other sister, she's a political operative. She's been working with her. What's her name? You know who I'm talking about. The other sister who's really close with Tariq. Teslin Figaro has been working with her, from what I understand, to help mold her. So I say let's look forward to hearing many good things from this sister going forward. I look forward to seeing her in political office. We need our young people out here that are being raised in the conscious community and being brought up to present. I think it just skipped, to get out here and represent, you know, and bring issues for foundational Black Americans to the forefront in the political realm, since the politicians that are out here right now like to ignore our needs. You know, she speaks, every time she speaks on foundational Black American issues. She speaks on the need for us to be seen as a protected class in this country. She speaks on the need for us to get our reparations, for us to have our own police systems, and so forth and so on. These type of things, you know, things that we need. She is B1. She is very authentic, and I'm really, really looking forward to seeing more and more come out about her, and her being pushed more to the forefront as we get to the next election cycle. So it's a very powerful sister. Everyone should be following her and paying very close attention.
Yes.
I like it.
Her Instagram is Lioness
Crowned. Yeah.
Yeah. So just like how it's spelled, LIONESSCROWNED.
And that's also her Twitter, I believe. I believe that's also her Twitter. So yeah,
cool.
Sister's thorough, extra ultra thorough.
Definitely. And that concludes our night, man. We appreciate you guys. We know we went extra long tonight, but it was well worth it.
Yes.
The contents and the gems that was dropped is super dope. So you guys can always request this and also send it to people that you feel need to listen to this. You know what I'm saying? Whether they're riding a bike, whether they're on a long bus trip or a flight, or they're at the airport stuck, need something to listen to, send them the programs. It's a little lengthy, but hey, your time go by fast when you're listening to great stuff. You know what I'm saying? So knock out two birds with one stone.
Real
So
talk.
that's all I have for tonight. You fellas want to add something else before we go out?
I'll throw in a little something. The topic tonight was an important one. A lot of us are, you know, we're not really utilizing the space and the platform that we have online for what we should be utilizing it for. We're not using our powers for good. You know what I'm saying? There's so much you could be doing. I've helped people find jobs online. I found jobs myself online. I'm talking about from Facebook, reaching out to Facebook friends. It's a sister right now that I'm going back and forth with trying to find a better job than the one I have now. You understand what I'm saying? And this sister's helped several brothers double their incomes. Inbox me about it. I'll give you the referral. You know what I mean? But you got that type of thing going on. You got community organizing out here. I talked to Sister Mona Lisa earlier this week, and she was talking about, the stuff that she's doing and the brother that she's doing the stuff with, who I look forward to speaking to soon. This sister's out here, they're, starting a farm, whatever the case may be. The sister's doing a whole bunch of other stuff in the community. They're doing work with young Black men out here. This is the type of stuff we should be talking about and contacting each other to work with and work on in the community. You know what I mean? We should be out here. I remember when the sister, Winyelle, when her son got killed, unfortunately, God rest him, we all got together. We just started putting up posts. I was one of the first people to post, and ask, hey, put something on this, people, da 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 da. They saw the story. Everybody felt very moved. The sister, she got her paper straight. She was able to take care of, the expenses, whatever the case may be, blah, blah, blah. That's somebody that's right here in South Florida. We were able to help because we came together as a family. You understand? Let's stop trolling. Let's stop the bullshit. Stop trying to be seen. Stop with the Bojangles act. Take off the tap shoes. You dig? Get out here and do something. Be counted. I can point to a number of things that I've done and helped people do through Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever the case. Every time Tariq has something, we all put in on it. You understand what I'm saying? These are the things we should be using social media for. I've talked about the perpetual teenager too many times over. Too many of us want to be perpetual teenagers and just do goofy, dumb, meaningless shit all the time. We gotta be smarter than that. It's cool to have fun. You understand? But if all you do is sit around all day and just troll people, just hate on people, just post up things to trigger people, you have to think about what your life is becoming. Is that how you want to be remembered? It's not how I want to be remembered. So my challenge to everybody, is step your game up. Let's see you do something with your social media platform that really bears fruit. That's what I want to say. That's my challenge to each and every one of you out there. And to the ones of you that are still hanging with us, we really appreciate you. I know this has been a very long show. And for you to hang in there with us this long really says a lot. God bless. We love you. Respect.
Peace. Bobby?
Absolutely. Yeah, important topic, super necessary to address and to understand. And just know when you see these things, man, it's not harmless. Uh, a lot of these things you need to be aware of and mindful of, and understand. As I was telling the sister the other day, we do have freedom of speech Everybody does have a right to speak, but everybody doesn't have a right to be heard. And it's important that we make sure that we are very mindful of these individuals that come among us, and they have no purpose other than time wasting.
Yeah.
You know, nowadays more than ever, there's all kinds of concerns. We have to make cost of living is increasing, wages and incomes and salary, it's not rising to meet it. We're more busy than ever. We have families to worry about. We have money to make. We have all other kinds of different things that commanding our attention or vying for our attention. Um, so our time is precious. Our attention span is precious. Don't waste it dealing with people whose goal is to cause you to waste time, to throw you off, to have you squandering your precious time that you can't get back. Every second is precious. Right? You can make
Real
more
talk.
money so long as you have time, but no matter what you can do, you can't get more time. So when you see these trolls, do not think of them as harmless or innocent. Think of them as people who are looking to rob you and steal from you that which is most precious, that which is irreplaceable. And move accordingly and understand just because someone's speaking, they have the right to speak, but you're not obligated to give them your ear time. You know, they don't need to have a microphone, they don't need to have a platform. So make sure that you are very stingy and very discerning and discriminating with your attention, and don't feed the trolls. We'll catch y'all next week, same time,
Real
same
talk.
place.
There it is.
And make sure to
Yeah.
hit the like button. You see it down there. Hit the like button.
Damn right.
Subscribe. Click that bell. Go for all the last option, all the notifications. We ain't gonna blow up your notifications. You just gonna get that little ding when it's showtime. That's
Real
all.
talk. Real talk. Yes,
Definitely.
sir.
So we'll definitely see you guys next week for another dope episode of Manversations 2020. Always remember to stay safe. Back to school is starting back next month. I know a lot of y'all are kind of happy because you guys want to get the children up out the house and have some kind of gracious time for yourself. We feel your pain. The children will go back to school, but make sure that when they go back, they are protected. Check their notes, make sure that you're doing their homework with them. And there's a bunch of book bag drives going on. If you're in Miami Gardens, follow Miami Gardens, City of Miami Gardens. They partner up with Brian Lee, phenomenal dude. Brian Lee does parties out here, and he also partners up to give back to the community, which he does it every book bag drive, every round, all the school time, and even at the end of the year to toy drives and stuff like that. So always, if you guys need different people in your areas that are doing drives, feel free to hit us up, email us, and we'll get you the information that you need. It's all about the children. Protect the children. Stop trolling, and let's get out here and do some serious business. So until then, we'll definitely holler at y'all next week. All right.
Yeah.
Peace.
All right.
On the album, we do things like songs that are little, what we call sexy. You can see from the title, it's more of a love album.